Oof.
Hello. What is up, everybody? Welcome on into our Club and Country watch-along show for a big one, a World Cup qualifier between the United States and Panama this evening. I'm Susannah Collins, so happy to be joined by Matt Doyle and Michael Lahoud for what could be a very good day for U.S. soccer. We are hoping...
Could be a miserable day too, Suze.
It could
really,
be.
really bad.
Doyle! No, it's too soon. It's too soon to play Debbie Downer right now. No, listen, I'm still feeding off the good vibes from Canada, okay, who just punched their ticket to the World Cup. Our neighbors to the north, this is their first time qualifying since 1986. A huge 4-0 win over Jamaica. And you know what I loved about this so much? I'm so happy that they got to win this game at home in front of their fans. You saw how much it meant to every single person in that stadium. This is what it's all about. I mean, just, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little jealous. I'm like, I want to be in that frame of mind right now. I want to feel as good as those Canadian fans and that Canadian national team. But I can't say enough what an impressive performance they have put on throughout the entire qualifying rounds, Michael Lahoud. I'm seriously over the moon for them.
And their success has to go down to their head coach, John Herdman. What he's been able to do on both sides for the Canadian men's and women's national team has been incredible. But unity, they seemed like a unified front.
Yeah.
Canada is such an eclectic country and a melting pot of so many different backgrounds. And the team embodies that. You see players like Eustachio. You see players like Adekugbe, who is a boss in the final third and on defense, and I just couldn't be happier for them and all our friends who are from Canada. We know them in the soccer world, so just a special day for them.
Doyle, what was your reaction to this victory for Canada and everything they accomplished?
I'll echo a lot of what Michael just said. Canadian fans have suffered in a way that I don't think U.S. fans can quite wrap their heads around, because like U.S. fans, we had Couva and that was awful, but I think everybody understood that. Not everybody, but most people understood that came in the context of the U.S. having made 7 straight World Cups and having produced the up and coming generation of talent, and so many more high moments than lows over the past 35 years or so. And then that happened, and it was obviously the lowest of the low. For Canada, that's been happening every cycle since the 80s. It's something as heartbreaking as Couva, something absolutely humiliating, like the was it 8-1 that they lost in Honduras in 2012 that ended their 2014 cycle, like 2 years before the World Cup. So those fans have suffered. And a few of the players who were on the field have suffered. Guys like Atiba Hutchinson, Milan Borjan, Junior Hoylett, they've been through that. And honestly, heading into this cycle, everyone kind of thought like, Canada's going to be talented, but they're one cycle away. And they sped up that timeline, man. It wasn't just the old guys.
Right?
They had this incredible group of young players. Michael wants to give credit to John Herdman. I want to give credit to Kyle Larin and Jonathan David. And that front two, that front pairing, they're terrifying. Those might be the 2 best forwards in CONCACAF. Canada's got them both, and they've both delivered. Kyle Larin had 13 goals.
I'm jelly
in this run for Canada, delivering in a way that few players in CONCACAF history have done it. They've earned it. I can't wait to watch this team in Qatar. It's like, if you're Canadian now, you better be having a couple, because what a run, man. What a run.
I know. It's amazing.
If you're Canadian, what do you have? Do you have Molson? Do you have
everything?
Heineken, of course, Michael. Heineken always.
Yes. I was just testing to see.
No, some sort. The Canadian whiskey is pretty darn good. So
the Seagrams maybe, or Crown Royal,
my drink of choice. No, but I talked about it on MLS Today with Michael Singh, who's our Toronto beat reporter up there, and I was saying like how the glow up for Canada was real and fast. Like it was like, like that that year that you kind of blossomed. For me, it was that year between junior and senior year. I grew a couple inches, like everything kind of came together. The awkwardness went away. It was the glow up that happened for Canada, like right before our eyes. It was great. And you mentioned all of the incredible talent that they have. They were without Alphonso Davies, guys. Let's not forget about Alphonso Davies, who we have an incredible video of his reaction. This was him on his Twitch stream when Canada qualified, and this just hits me right in the feels. Look at this guy.
I mean, it's fantastic, and the fact that they were able to do it, like last window and now this window without him, he's the best player in the region,
right?
But
Hands down.
by far. And I think there was a sense in some quarters that without him for the last site or the last window, and then for this window, that maybe it wasn't going to happen for Canada. But like, man, they went out there. I thought they were much better than Costa Rica the other night. And then they did. I mean, they played probably their best game of the Ocho tonight. Mm-hmm. And he's right to celebrate. That's a happy dude. Let's hope we get to see him on the field soon.
100%. Just a reminder to everyone, guys, the show is all about you. We have the chat open. We are monitoring it. So we want you to get in there, ask your questions, your comments, whatever. We are literally here to serve you. We've got Dave from Germany, from Frankfurt, Germany, watching. So, Dave, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We're hope maybe you can send us some good luck from overseas. Because gents, I'm not gonna lie, I was okay today. Like I was feeling like pretty confident and cool, and then about a half hour ago, the nerves start percolating, and here's the situation right now, right? So if the U.S. can get all 3 points tonight, if they can win against Panama, and right now Costa Rica, they're leading El Salvador 2-1. So if that score stands and the USA are able to pull off a win tonight, they have at the very least secured a trip to Qatar for those that sort of last chance, the playoff, which I don't even want to think about. But at the very least, they can clinch a fourth place finish. I just want to take the temperature of you guys, because I've sort of told you I'm a little nervous, and we can get into why. But Matt Doyle, how are you feeling ahead of this match?
I'm a little nervous. It's not. I wish Pulisic or Jordy Pifak had scored the other day. I think I would be less nervous if that had happened. Yeah. I wish Costa Rica would figure out a way to drop points here, but they're still up 2-1 on El Salvador. So all that, yeah, I'm pretty nervous. And look, I think we all agree that this U.S. team is super talented, even with the absences, even with guys like McKennie, Dest, Brendan Aronson, like those are Champions League players. Even without guys like that, this team is still super talented. But I don't entirely trust them yet, right? They've gotten good results. They've played really well. How much can we trust them in a big game yet?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I found that really interesting because they went to a place that is not an easy place to play in. Mexico they're not in a good way, but it's still the Azteca. Mm-hmm. And to go and walk away from a game where in the past going to Azteca and getting a draw, you would celebrate that. I mean, you would be crip walking in the local club down the street from the Azteca, celebrating like it was 3 points. And because of how the team has performed against Mexico as of late, we're sitting here disappointed that it wasn't 3 points, and rightfully so. They had the chances, but I'm not there yet to say I don't believe in this group. But then again, I'm from Sierra Leone, so I have the freedom to breathe a sigh of relief a little bit and enjoy this as a fan.
Let me ask you this though, Mike. You remember what happened the last time they played Mexico and the game after that? They went to Jamaica and they laid an egg and they got real lucky to come out of Jamaica with a point. Like they got real lucky.
Doyle.
I'm just trying to add perspective here. Yeah. After Couva, after what happened 5 years ago now, no U.S. fan or player should ever take anything even remotely for granted. And like as well as they played the other night against Mexico, and if they play that well tonight against Panama, I think they'll win. I'm pretty sure they'll win. I don't entirely trust them to come out and play that well again.
Well, we have seen throughout qualifiers too. The U.S. has come out a little flat in the first half of many of these games. So I hear you, Doyle. I mean, there's a little cause for concern. I will say that I've been impressed with how they've been able to adjust in games. So that gives me a little bit of hope. But guys, as it stands right now, we've got our live standings up. These are literally live. We've got the scores up so you can kind of keep track of where things are. The U.S. currently in second place in these standings at 22 points. Again, a win tonight would basically secure them in that playoff game in Qatar. I believe that's happening later this summer. So we will see how it all goes. But the lineups are out, y'all. So let's take a look at how it's lining up for the United States for this evening. And, we had it's some big questions, obviously, coming into this game, especially, that number 9 position. Jesus Ferreira is getting the start up there, which I think a lot of people anticipated for this match. Did not play in last game. So I think that's smart. Some fresh legs up there. Hopefully he can find the finishing touch that has been eluding the United States. But then we also have Shaq Moore at right back because DeAndre Yedlin, as we know, is out with a yellow card for this one. So I'm interested in getting your initial reactions to the starting 11 for the U.S. Michael Lahoud.
I'm not surprised to see Jesus Ferreira up top, especially given that he scored a hat trick in the very recent past for FC Dallas. So you go with a striker who's in form in the league and didn't feature or get much of an impact in the last game. And I think things would change if they would have gotten a goal late against Mexico and Azteca. But I think this is the right move. Ferreira, he plays more as a false 9. He's not just going to sit up there. For the U.S. national team, they'll need him to play closer to the 2 center backs than trying to drop back and get touches on the ball. His discipline is going to be key for this front 3 to start thriving.
Doyle, what do you think?
It's the lineup I predicted in my preview column, so I'm happy
about that. Is it literally exactly what you
predicted? The win from Matt Doyle.
You got Triple G's number, apparently.
Something like that. But apparently Gio Reyna was going to start, but he picked up a stomach bug. This is according to the FS1 pregame. He's available off the bench. We don't, I don't know how available.
Wait a second. A stomach bug? Is this for real? Okay. Tommy Scoops. Darn
Tommy
it.
Scoops has got
Bringing us all back to reality. Tweeted out this FS1 broadcast reveals a number of U.S. men's national team players, including Gio Reyna, caught a stomach bug after the. Oh my! Are you kidding me?
Okay, Doyle. I'm with you. I'm feeling the nerves now.
This is not it. This ain't it, y'all.
Well, qualifying's never easy. Been trying to tell everybody that for so long.
Stomach bug. Okay, wait, but this could. I mean, I'm old enough to remember the Jordan flu game. So
there you go.
Had to give a little Chicago shout, huh?
I did. I will always find a way to do that, Michael Lahoud. If you haven't worked enough with me, it'll always come up. It'll always come up. Okay, so Gio Reyna, a lot of people. I mean, do you think he probably would have been in that starting 11 had he not caught this bug? Correct? Is that what we're assuming?
It sounds like he would have been, and I understand that because him and Pulisic flip a coin. Those are the 2 most talented players on the team, and he can do stuff that not even Pulisic can do. So it makes sense. The reason why I wasn't totally expecting it is, he went 90 minutes last week for Borussia Dortmund. That's the first time he's gone more than 45 minutes in a game since early September, since the first qualifier against El Salvador. He did his hamstring in that one, and it took forever to get him back. There were stops and starts. And he there were some real doubts that he was ever going to, he was going to be 90 minutes fit at any point during this cycle. But he did get back for Dortmund, and he played really well. Obviously, he played well the other night against Mexico. And the question is, okay, would it have been worth it to put him in there from the start and try to squeeze 90 minutes from him? Or should you be careful with his hamstring? Because as things stand, the U.S. still need to go to Costa Rica on Wednesday and get the job done.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily a result, like a respectable loss would probably do it if the U.S. win by 1 goal. But like that's
I don't want to back into the World Cup, Doyle.
Yeah, well, so this is why we talk about squad rotation, man. This is why we talk about injuries. This is why it's completely rational to not have Gio Reyna in the starting lineup, because there's no way you could ask a guy who's played 90 minutes once in the past 6 months to go, 35 against Mexico and then 85 against Panama, and then start and potentially go another 90 in the most important game of his life at Costa Rica. So I mean, I wish it wasn't a stomach bug. I wish it was just squad rotation, but everything's been complicated. Mm-hmm. Everything from day one of qualifying has been freaking complicated with this team. So what's a little more misery to pile on top of it? I need a drink.
This is not the energy I needed. Okay. Tristan Storms tweeted this, guys. Paul Arriola high press Gio on at the 65th minute for him after he empties the tank. What do you think, Michael Lahoud?
I think that's exactly what's going to play out. That's why Paul Arriola is in the team. He brings a lot of energy, whether he starts and typically with the U.S. national team, he's in the team for one reason and one reason alone. Well, 1A and 1B. Yes, he can provide an assist or draw a foul for a penalty because he's just such a tenacious worker, but it's his ability to press and his reactions when he doesn't have the ball. He's so tenacious, doesn't give up, and you need those people who are the busy bees within a lineup where you have technical players in front, especially, in this modern day and age. You're used to seeing wingers who typically want the ball to feet, drive at you. But as the game goes on in the first half, look for him to be a bit more effective. Now, when it comes to Gio Reyna, what he did against Mexico was special. That run, that mazy run that he did, slaloming through like he was an
Maradona. It was Maradona.
Oh yeah.
It was.
Just channeling the Argentine heritage that he has in his blood. And what is so typical that happens when you're a coach is you think, oh my gosh, we have to win this game. And what I like that Berhalter's not doing is it's not desperation time for the U.S. national team. Yes, it would be great to win this game and then take off less pressure in that final game against Costa Rica. But your best player right now in terms of form that is on the bench in Gio Reyna. And you don't want to lose that player going into your last game because he's overworked. Mind you, when you play an Azteca, you have to do something called get on a plane and travel back to the States. That impacts the body in ways that most people don't think about and isn't talked about enough. But athletes know at the end of the day.
I just got off a flight from St. Louis, and that wasn't even that long of a flight, and I'm tired. I'm exhausted. So, I mean, you take into consideration, number one, the game, the altitude, the travel, all of that. These windows are so tight, and there's not a lot of time for regen in between. And it's a fact. I mean, it is a factor. And it goes back to Doyle's point about squad rotation and just, Greg Berhalter made the decision that he really wanted to go for it in that qualifier against Mexico. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but now it's something that you have to manage, and here we are talking about it. Let's talk about Shaq Moore, who basically got the emergency call up. He's going to be starting at right back in place of DeAndre Yedlin. The guy he's been playing pretty well in Spain for Tenerife. What can he potentially bring to this? Is this a smart decision by Greg to bring him in and plug him in right away? I mean,
he had to bring somebody in, right?
Yeah.
They were down to, this is the U.S. being down to their fourth string right back. And, the first string is Serginho Dest, who got injured last week. And second string is either Reggie Cannon or DeAndre Yedlin. And both those guys are out. Reggie Cannon's still stuck in Mexico City because he tested positive for COVID. So he couldn't even get on a plane and fly home. DeAndre Yedlin is yellow card suspension. So like with Shaq Moore, Greg Berhalter's going with somebody who, he knows a little bit, right? Moore's got 13 caps. Most of them came last summer. He's not a super dynamic player like Dest, certainly not. I mean, he's not even like Cannon or Yedlin level, but he's been a solid professional fullback for 7 years now. Yeah. He hits a hell of a cross, and the hope is that he will perform better than his last qualifier, which was actually the game at Panama. He got 68 minutes in that one. He was not good in that game. He was not good at all in that game. So this is a chance for a little redemption for him.
Yeah, I think it's when you're in this position and you always have choices, but we've seen at the right back position, we've seen this go sideways where Tyler Adams has been shifted, and there is no way in heck. I know it's a family show, so I have to say heck, not the other word.
Very well done.
No way that you can do that at this point in World Cup qualifying for CONCACAF, especially when the stakes are so high.
Yeah.
If you're Shaq Moore and you're coming out from the cold and coming back on the national team, keep it simple. Build your way in the game. You don't have to go bombing up and down. And really, in defensive transition is where he's going to be key for this U.S. back line, because Jedi is going to get forward.
Yeah.
You know that. That's just anticipated. And now you have to just be that third defender who provides balance and is very cautious and professional in transition.
Okay, there's a comment in the chat right now. Eric Petrosian says, Joe Scally, bruh. A lot of people were making the argument that it should have been him getting the call up rather than Shaq Moore. Matt Doyle, your thoughts on that?
I think Scally should have been either Scally or DeJuan Jones should be here as like added insurance at fullback, but Scally's not been in good form since about mid-November.
Okay.
Right? He lost his starting job with Borussia Mönchengladbach. And Mönchengladbach, they have the third worst defense in the Bundesliga. When Scally was called into national team camp, he did not impress. He couldn't even get on the field, and like he's only started twice in the past 3 months. I think long term, he is obviously more talented than Shaq Moore, but I completely understand the decision here from Berhalter to go with the guy who's a little bit more of a known quantity. The other thing to understand with Joe Scally is he mostly does not play right back. He's mostly a left wing back for Borussia Mönchengladbach. He only has 5 professional games ever playing as a right back. Like, I mean, if the U.S. had qualified, right, if we finished a couple more chances over the course of qualification, then yeah, Joe Scally should be here. He should be on the field. You get him involved as soon as possible. But like, he's such an unknown that I completely understand the decision to err on the side of experience. El Salvador almost just equalized. I completely understand the decision to err on the side of experience rather than high-end talent. And that's what it is, right? The choice of going with Shaq Moore. He's 25. He's played 200 games at right back in La Liga and the Segunda Liga. Like, it's pretty clear.
No, I think that's fair, and I think it goes back to what Michael said earlier about keeping it simple. Like just like come in, stick to your role. Don't do what you know. Do what you know you are supposed to do, and just sort of fill this void. I want to ask you guys about what you saw in that match against Mexico that impressed you, things that you thought, the U.S. did really well. I thought Tyler Adams played a really fantastic game for them. He's obviously in the starting 11 now. I guess, maybe there's a little concern that, again, the whole fitness thing comes in, just like fatigue. Is that going to be an issue? But for me, Tyler Adams is going to be, he needs to perform as well as he did last Thursday. Michael Lahoud, what do you think?
the word fitness, and I'm glad you said that, for all the tactical setup and everything, the fitness capacity of this U.S. men's national team to go to altitude in Azteca and to play without fear, to not just sit behind the ball, but to hit them on the counter and really push the tempo of the game and not succumb to Mexico lulling you, moving you from one side to another, and waiting for you to keel over. I was really impressed with that. I was impressed with some of the tackling that the men's national team players had at midfield. Tyler Adams in it, Jedi Robinson, some of the movement between him and Pulisic on that left-hand side. It was really refreshing to see them not back down against a Mexico team, the team that tends to bully teams at Azteca.
Doyle, what do you think? What do you want to see? What impressed you? Anything? We need positivity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say the positivity with which the U.S. played. They didn't go down there for a point. They went down there to win. They went down there to try to dictate the game. It wasn't just about being opportunistic. It was about playing better soccer than Mexico played. And I thought for about 80 minutes they did. The last 10 minutes were gruesome. But the first 80 were really, really good. And they should have had 3 points. Bottle that, bring that back. Like tactically, I thought they were a little more pragmatic. They weren't as determined to build from the back as I think we've seen from Berhalter's teams. I bet that changes tonight. I bet they're going to try to build from Zach Steffen every single time possible. I thought they were a little more conservative with the fullback play, which is completely understandable. We might see that again tonight, being a little bit conservative with the fullbacks. Certainly for the first half hour, that wouldn't shock me. But mostly it's just the energy, right? Bring that energy, bring that positivity. Go out there determined to be the better team. And tonight, the hope is that they'll actually turn it into goals. And just so everybody knows, with Costa Rica's win, the U.S. cannot officially qualify for the World Cup proper tonight. The U.S. clinches fourth, right? A draw or a win clinches fourth.
Dang it.
Fourth at least. But because of the final game being at Costa Rica, where it needs to be said, the U.S. has never won.
It's struggled.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Kickoff just happened, guys. Here we go. Everybody take a drink. It's fine.
It's about that time.
It's going to be fun.
What's everyone having? Speaking of drinks, what's everyone having tonight?
I got a little whiskey and Diet Coke. Let's go. I needed the strong stuff, but then I also needed a little caffeine to temper it because we are on camera after all.
I'm drinking water.
Me too.
What do you guys think is the most important thing that the U.S. needs to focus on these first 10 minutes? What's the key here in these opening minutes of the game for them?
Energy. Win second balls. Make sure that you're closing down space. Don't get scattered because Panama can hurt you on the counterattack pretty badly, and match their level of intensity. And that's the thing that that's the thing that we've seen from this Panama team from basically the third game. A lot of sloppy touches from the U.S. early here. This is oof, and a corner kick. Panama has consistently hit a level of intensity in these games that the U.S. basically only hits against Mexico. So the U.S. players got to trick themselves into believing that it's Mexico they're playing tonight, and go out there and just outwork them, outplay them, bully them off the field. And I got to tell you, it's not been a great start.
This is not great.
I feel like I'm just a hair behind.
It's not great.
Well, for me, I think the U.S. being at home, you're going to see them try and press. And oftentimes, your front three, they'll go. But when you play against a Panama team that is good in transition, that likes to hit on the counter, your back line needs to move, and it needs to be like an accordion. You can't have the front three go, the midfield go, and then there's a massive gap underneath between Tyler Adams and the two center backs. They need to stay connected as a team shifts. Oh boy.
Ay, guys.
Yeah, time for
okay. Quinn, I'm not gonna lie. The chat is not. It's not great right now. Everyone's. I think everyone's kind of got the. I feel sick to my stomach. So scared. Says Thickety Wickets. Same. Join the club. Panama will want to score early and play defense. Yeah, that's basically what is happening.
That is
right
the
now.
recipe on the road.
That is. Oh God. I mean, you guys, can somebody please inject some positivity into this chat? Somebody, anybody. Pepto-Bismol shots for me. Says Thickety Wickets. Oh, this guy, he's on fire. Thickety Wickets I'm a little concerned for you, bro. Okay, let's we're gonna try to keep it positive because we need that. Get in the chat, guys. I want everyone to let me know what are some of your favorite moments from US men's qualifier, like just moments that made you feel good and not so nervous and tense and like we're gonna throw up like we are right now. Please, for me, I appreciate it as I am the one tasked with monitoring this chat. Come on. Trinidad. No. Quinn begs. Trinidad was tragic. Yeah, no kidding. We know that. What that I didn't ask for that. I asked for your favorite. Mike. Thank you, Mike Isle Ward. He said, you guys have great players. Have a little faith.
I like that.
There we go. Have some faith.
I like that.
Have some faith. You know who I have faith in? Walker Zimmerman. I have been so impressed with that Walker Zimmerman Miles Robinson pairing. I love that Greg has just kind of gone with it. It's like they have earned his trust. It's given them such a good rapport together. I feel very confident with that center back pairing, and it just makes me that makes me breathe a little easier. I don't know how you feel about, but that's me.
You want to know what I love about those two is not just are they MLS players and representing the league very well, but they embody the U.S. national team defensive spirit where you have warriors, guys who aren't going to give up on plays. Robinson will chase down anyone in CONCACAF and most of the time make a tackle. And Walker Zimmerman, what a revelation he's been again for the national team, coming back in the fold and contributing not just defensively with steady plays and displays, but he's a set-piece threat. In a game like this, when you need a result, set pieces can be the difference. And Walker Zimmerman, do not be surprised if he cashes in tonight.
I like that. Let's manifest that into reality. Doyle, is that spot his to lose now?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think for both of them, it's their spots to lose. I think they're 6-0-1. That's 6 wins, no losses, 1 draw, with only 1 goal conceded in their 7 games that they've played together. Like that's
numbers don't lie.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. As for the set pieces, I like that too. The U.S., however, they've only scored 3 set piece goals in qualifying, and they all came in the same game. They all came in that frigid snow game in Minnesota against Honduras. It's crazy how little they've been able to get out of restarts so far. And like we're like, this is the second last game, man. If it's going to come, it'd be nice if it started coming now.
Well,
wouldn't it?
I'd love to see the numbers from the Gold Cup, how the national team did.
Oh God,
set pieces.
And Nations League too. Remember Nations League final? They got 3 goals against Mexico. 2 of them were off of set pieces, and the other was off a penalty.
So interesting
none of that
too. Like you think about back to last summer and those 2 finals, and Greg Berhalter, he mixed it up a lot. Like there wasn't. He brought in a lot of younger guys. It seemed to be a different starting 11 all the time. And I thought that was really, I think that probably does a lot just for a team's confidence, when you know that everybody he has the faith in them to contribute when they're on the pitch. And I feel like that breeds probably some good vibes, like you want a cohesive locker room. You want guys to believe in each other. And I thought that was I think that's like a very cool aspect of what Greg has done with this squad in the last year.
I agree with that. I think, in sports, you hear next man up mentality or next person up, next player up mentality, where at any given time, you don't know who you're going to have to call on.
Mm-hmm.
And as a player, you have to be able to answer the bell when it tolls. Shaq Moore, you are that player tonight. And typically as a player, it's a rush of blood to the head, and you think you have to go and put out a 10 out of 10 display. No. You have to just be solid when your name is called, and the rest will take care of itself.
You guys are I appreciate the chats really coming through for me right now. This is Dave. This is our friend from Germany. The first 2-0 match in Columbus was a great World Cup qualifier. Yes, it was. Dave, thank you for that. There's been a lot of love for Gio Reyna's run last match. I mean, that one, it's funny. I know it's like in such recent memory, but that was really, really special. So he's getting a lot of love in the comments. Thanks, guys. Y'all are making me feel a lot better.
It's a good tackle.
Okay, guys, we've got a question from Yo Mo. What USA players could miss the last game if they get a yellow card today? Okay, I know Miles Robinson is on a yellow. Tyler Adams, Zach Steffen, and Jordan Pefok. So that's another thing to consider, right? Because as it stands right now, the U.S. cannot officially qualify with a win tonight. They, at best, if they get the win, they would at least clinch a fourth place spot and a place in that playoff match. So the Costa Rica game does matter. They have to go there and play well. So the yellow card situation is, that's definitely a factor tonight, guys. No easy way around it. And those are important players.
Yeah.
So, oh God, it's just a roller coaster. I think I feel like it's like, I'm turning the corner, and then I'm like, oh God, here we go.
But right on the money, Paul Arriola doing what he's in the team to do. Low center of gravity. Yep. As soon as that ball gets there, he puts his body in front, draws the foul. Come on, Skip.
Let's see what they have here.
Mike, what's the game clock at on your broadcast?
It is the 11th minute, 10:52.
Okay, so you're about 30 seconds behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think I'm like right in between you guys then.
All right. I'm just going to keep my eyes peeled on you, Doyle. For the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Sean, he says, we need Pulisic to show up in this game. And I'm saying, you ain't wrong.
You ain't wrong.
Sean. What does Pulisic need to do in this match? Obviously he could have, there was a whole debate about whether that goal against Mexico, that potential goal against Mexico was a sitter. I kind of think, yes, it was. But aside from that, what does Pulisic need to do for his team tonight?
He needs to do a better job of finding space. Yeah. If you watch him play for the U.S., he's always coming back to the ball. He's dragging defenders with him. He's mucking up central midfield and making it hard, not just for his teammates, but for himself. He needs to trust his teammates with the ball and go stretch the back line, go find pockets of space in between the midfield and defense instead of just always coming back and mucking everything up.
Ooh.
I agree with that. Ooh, let's see this. Robinson.
Another corner kick. Ay, ay, ay. Come on, boys.
I have a thought on that, but after this. Oh, UNC Duke. Love the update.
Nope.
Oh.
There's more energy in the game now. It took the U.S. about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
To work the nerves.
This is better. This is better.
Okay. So
Walker Zimmerman is calling for VAR.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Doyle punched him right in the face.
Oh boy.
Anibal.
He's no stranger to controversy, huh? When it comes to World
These
Cup
guys are
qualification.
These guys are club teammates too.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
see. They're showing a replay right now on my feed.
Boy.
Yeah. Oh.
He's going to the monitor.
Yep. Oh my God! No, he's got him. He took him.
And that is
by the neck.
let's just say that is
That's
such a veteran.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
such a veteran move from Zimmerman, because you see the U.S. had a chance to take a quick throw in there. He grabbed the ball and would not let the U.S. take a throw in, because if they had taken that throw in, they would not be able to go to video. They would not be able to go to video review.
Come on, Walker. That's my guy.
So that's a guy who knows the rules. That said, I don't think this is a penalty. I mean, that's just hand fighting in the box. Come on, Lahoud, you've done that a million times.
I've had that done to me. Especially when I played, I don't know what coaches saw.
Oh, it's not just the hand fighting. The ball comes off of Godoy's arm. What? It comes off his. Did he just give it? He gave it. He gave the penalty.
He sold it really well. I think it's because it's up near the face area, and just whenever you do that, you're asking for it.
Oh my gosh!
He's not even looking at the ball. He's not looking to play the ball whatsoever. He's looking at Zimmerman and his arms.
But we don't even know whether I don't know whether this is given for the hand fighting or for the handball, because
tell us in the chat.
The corner came straight off Godoy's right arm. I was so focused on the hand stuff that I didn't even notice.
Oh, who takes it? Or who would you have take it?
I would have Pulisic take it.
Pulisic, yeah.
Good answer, yeah.
No problem. Walker, you ledge. You. I had a conversation. I was in St. Louis with the first MLS Next Pro game, and we were chatting. Yeah, hey. Oh, Jesus Ferreira taking the pen.
No, he's not. Nope.
Just holding the
that
ball
was so. This is something he turned around and he gave it to Pulisic. This is something Chelsea actually does. Chelsea has whoever's taking the penalty.
This is mind game.
Back off. They back off to the top of the circle and they act like someone else is taking the penalty, so that the opposing team messes with the guy who's standing with
look
the ball
at that!
in the circle.
So cheeky.
Oh.
It's so cheeky. Come on, Christian.
Well spotted.
I can't breathe.
Oh boy, let me get my water ready.
Let me get my drink ready. Oh, baby. Doyle's going to know before any of us.
All right, I'm just going to stare at Doyle.
Oh, God, I'm going to barf. Yes!
Bingo.
That is what I'm talking about. That is what
I mean.
I'm talking
that's
about.
All Walker Zimmerman, man. His recognition that this needed to go to review, and
That's
refusal
to
let the U.S. start play. That got the U.S. a goal right there. That got so cerebral from Walker Zimmerman.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Guys, U.S.
It's hands. It's the hands. Has to be the hands. He's not even looking to play the ball. Referee is watching the play. Yeah, that's either way. That's
legend.
Awesome.
Legend. Oh, there we go. Look at this. I like this from Rhett Laffoon. Give Zimmerman the armband, to be honest. Yes. Not opposed. I'm not opposed. I truly believe if the U.S. are able to qualify for the World Cup, which I believe they will, Walker Zimmerman to me is going to be such a standout player. He's going to be a massive, just a presence. I think he's going to be like the media darling. I don't know. I love everything about that guy.
He and Miles Robinson really seem to have something good happening, and we've seen U.S. players come out of World Cups as stars before. Certainly worked for Alexi Lawless, Eddie Pope back in the day.
Tis where stars of the game are born, on the world stage. Oh my gosh, let's will it into existence, kids.
So I've noticed something different in Zimmerman is there's more composure when he has the ball. He's doing a good job of recognizing when to just keep it simple, and he's even playing entry passes, and I think he gets good practice at that in Nashville for club soccer, where they play a diamond midfield now, and when you play with 4 center midfielders, you better play it through the middle of the park because they're going to be really upset with you. I know, used to play in that position, but just really seeing an evolution in his game from Dallas to LAFC and now in Nashville, and of course the U.S. national team.
I mean, he's a 2-time Defender of the Year in MLS. When Nashville made the move to get him, I just thought it was so incredibly smart. And also, you saw what happened to LAFC.
Oh my God! Oh my!
When he left.
Keep watching.
Keep watching. I'm watching.
Oh no!
Oh God! Oh God! No! No!
Oh boy!
Oh shit! Sorry.
Didn't see the run. Oh no!
No! No!
Oh my God! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
I can't. I'm not built for this.
Oh my gosh! Well, you know what? That could be a sign that it could be your day if that happens.
I don't know what this is. Not okay, guys. Calm down. Calm down.
Oh, those overlapping outside backs.
Okay, what's the defensive breakdown here? Like, what's going on? What are Costa Rica doing that U.S.
Just that. I think one, getting runners either from midfield or outside backs running inside. It's so hard to track, especially when you're attacking player. 1 minute your defender is with you, and then Panama, they have athletic outside backs. So you have to be switched on at all times. You can't get called ball watching. And the U.S., they kind of got away with one right here.
Oh, my Lord. How did that not? Ooh.
Oh, no.
Walker again. Holy
crap. Wow.
How did U.S. escape that?
I haven't, I don't know, man. They shouldn't have.
You guys. Whoo! Okay, everyone take a breath. I'm going to take a little skis.
Little sipper.
Needed. Okay, what does Dave Denholm have to say? I've never seen a play where one guy could have been called for 3 penalties. Well, listen. You never know. You just never know what you're going to get in these games. Oh, boy.
Are we having some Nation League flashbacks here? Goalkeeper warming up.
Yep. Could be. Oh, okay. Stefan is he wincing? He doesn't look comfortable. Don't know what happened, if it was on that chaos in front of the net, but Horvath warming up.
Susannah, you're not the only one who's breathing heavy at the start of this match. I'm having texts from a bunch of different buddies around the country being like, this is exhausting to watch. Call the game ref. Never seen a call the game ref 23 minutes into a game, but I'll take it. I'm here for it.
This is just, it is incredibly stressful. And this game has been chaotic Okay. Get on the listener. Get up. Yes! Yes!
Nope.
Woo!
Oh boy. What?
Yes!
That Paul Arriola.
That's our guy, Paul Arriola. He's a good player, and he takes way more crap from U.S. fans than he deserves.
Why does he get crap, Doyle? Why is he under?
Oh, because he plays in MLS. That's it. If he played in Europe, everybody would love him.
Okay, that just listen. Oh, I will take it. I will take that. Paul Arriola, you beauty!
Wow.
Who played that long ball in? Who was that?
Is that Robinson?
Was that Robinson?
Yeah, because Pulisic gets hit pretty hard. Hope he's okay.
Yeah, it's the Robinson cross.
Yeah.
I didn't see who played the long ball over the top to Pulisic in the first place.
That was
what a
nice
ball
well.
that was.
That was incredible.
Was that Zimmerman that played that?
It might have been. It was coming from his zone, but the camera was focused on
timing.
Camera was focused on Greg instead of being focused on.
That was a brilliant header.
Wow, how tall is Paul Arriola?
He's not big. He's small.
That just shows how difficult that was.
And his momentum was going the other way. Like that was just incredible contact. Wow. What a ball in from Robinson too. Guys, okay. This is more like it. This is more like it. Creed
I'm going to step away.
MLS representing. Heck yes, they are.
I'm going to go pour myself a drink. I finally feel calm enough.
He's back. Been waiting for that.
I'll be right back.
All right, good.
Go get it, Doyle. Join us. Oh my God. It's just, I do feel like I can kind of just take a break. That's Paul Arriola's 9th career international goal.
Wow.
Which surprises me. I feel like I didn't know he has scored that many international goals.
Yeah, it's amazing that when he's in the team, he always seems to have an impact when he's on the field, whether it's defensively, and he's a player that can so easily go underneath the radar because, like I said, he's got 9 goals internationally, which is better than none, which is better than 8, and everything underneath. But for an attacking player, it's not a great return given the number of caps he has.
Yeah,
but I think he does so much more for the team. He's a team player, and he works his socks off every game he's on the field.
Yeah, we've got. Oh, I like it. Alex says hi. He says, "Okay, I'm sorry for doubting Arriola." There we go. I love it. Rhett Laffoon, who was earlier chanting for Walker to get the armband. Now he's saying Paul Arriola should.
Can I throw my name in the hat?
Doesn't matter exactly. You get an armband. You get an armband. You get an armband. Woo! Okay, this is what. But okay, you know what they say, Michael Lahoud. There is no more dangerous lead than a 2-0 lead. So let us not. But I like this. I sure like this.
Okay. He's in.
Oh, come on, Christian.
He needs number. Oh, it's Jesus.
Oh.
Come on, he's off. Oh, he's on.
Oh, look at that run behind. Oh. I'm not built for these matches.
3.
Matt Doyle, don't tease me.
I'm not.
Don't you tease me. Where's it coming? Oh, I like that.
It's coming from FC Dallas.
Oh! Jesus!
He's in. Banger.
Jesus!
Bang! Bang! Berhalter looking like a genius tonight.
I mean, you guys, after that very, very scary opening 10 minutes, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
It took him 10 minutes. Really nice work here from Luca De La Torre to play Shaq Moore in.
What was that about? Shaq needs to just keep it simple, stay behind.
Who said that?
To me, Doyle for sure, not me. Don't listen to me, Shaq. Do what you do.
That was a great ball from De La Torre.
Yeah. Good timing on the run too.
I mean, just some really nice interplay there. Oh, yes. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Look at that. Do you see how Ferreira just like held that defender back, opened himself up, got in position in the box, put it away.
So I want to go back to the question that was asked about Pulisic and how he can be effective. And he hasn't been on the score sheet yet. But when you're playing against a team that sits back so deep and wants to hit you on the counter, when you're a winger, staying wide isolates a player like Jesus Ferreira. What the U.S. national team are doing well is as soon as they get into attack, those front three become so narrow and they play off each other. On that goal, Paul Arriola is less than 5 yards away from Jesus Ferreira, if 5 yards at most. As attacking players, you have to play next to each other or near each other and look to combine in the final third. That's the only way that you're going to be dangerous.
That's a really good point. And it's something that we see, especially in this day and age where you don't find, oh, God, Zach, catch the ball.
Oh, boy.
Especially where there aren't a lot of, like, two forward lineups. Strikers can get stranded. So you're absolutely right. Like the U.S. wingers are doing a really good job of getting narrow early to make sure that they can combine off of each other. Whew.
Oh boy! Oh my gosh, that was too close from comfort.
I'm just checking. If you guys don't follow FC Dallas on Twitter, you guys should, because whoever handles their social is just tremendous at their job.
That dude's gonna have to get like 3 more tattoos, man. Remember he got the Pepe hype train tattoo?
Oh my God, incredible! But they have, so in there, I'm gonna show it on screen. In their like heading, they've got Jesus already in the heading, and then. I mean, they're incredible. So fun. Yeah, FC Dallas just representing tonight. Let's go. Okay, so. Oh, here we go. This is the third goal, guys. Up on screen. Let's watch this again. This was so pretty. Boom, boom.
Find that little half space, and then he drives forward here. He commits the defender, and that gives more time to get behind.
Oh, that little layoff too. Ah!
Yeah. Get numbers into the box. Good things happen.
Whew. Okay. 3-0.
Hey, don't stop now.
Don't stop now.
Here's a question for you guys. If it's 3-0 at halftime, do you take Tyler and Jedi and Pulisic off at the half? You do?
Yes,
I wouldn't.
I do.
I don't.
I would take Tyler off.
Yeah, I think he's kind of the linchpin and the.
Who else did we say are
cause.
on? Who's on the yellow cards too?
Stefan and
Miles
Robinson.
Yeah, that's right. Tyler's got on.
Tyler.
Definitely Tyler. Get him off.
Yeah, I keep the rest of them on till about the 60th minute. You know that, if Gio Reyna, if a stomach bug is flushed out, then you're going to bring in. You have players on the bench that can come in and contribute. But a player like Tyler Adams, you're going to need him and then some in Costa Rica for that final game. But you don't want to think that this game is over going into half. Yes, it's 3-0, but momentum is a heck of a thing. And 45 minutes is a long time to leave to just say, we'll just rest on our laurels for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
This is a great tweet from U.S. Soccer. Jesus delivers on Sunday.
That's awesome.
I like it. It's cheeky. Well played.
There's not an ode to one of your favorite Chicago Bulls interaction with a certain other NBA player?
What is that?
Scottie Pippen.
What about Pip?
Karl Malone, Scottie Pippen.
Oh, there's no mail delivery on Sunday.
That's right. The mailman. Golly.
Yeah.
We'll take this. We will take this. Let's see. I'm going to see what's going on in the chat, guys. What do you got for me? Oh, Fahad from Kuwait. Thank you for joining us. I hope you are enjoying this as much as we are. This is I mean, I'm not going to lie. I say we, I mean, I was not in good shape for the first half hour of this stream, but we're feeling okay now. Let's see. Oh, I like it. Sean Steffen says Doyle should apologize to Greg for his slander. Did you? I don't think you didn't slander Greg.
Oh, I didn't slander Greg. Pogs to Sean. That's what I say.
Such a Doyle. That's such a Doyle comment. I love it. Whew.
So what I like about what the U.S. national team are doing now is look at the movement of Musa and De La Torre. They're pushing up into that space because Arriola, because Pulisic, because the front three are running in behind. The U.S., to get some of their goals, they tested the back line, tested the speed of this Panamanian back line. And what that does, it creates space for the midfield two, the attacking two, to function. Now, as a midfielder, you have to recognize that space and then occupy it, because then it gives space for Tyler Adams. It gives depth in the midfield. And it gives space for Tyler Adams to operate as the lone pivot. Get Ferreira doing the defensive work.
I like it. Listen, it's a physical guy. This is what you want to see. This is exactly what you want to see. I mean, how do you guys feel overall, though, about that number 9 position? Because it's just been a carousel. And I mean, obviously Ferreira has scored tonight, but when you look at the sort of pool that we have, like, is there anybody that has earned it yet? I say no.
No, there's not. And this has been a good audition so far for Jesus Ferreira. And look, the idea with playing a false 9, and he is really more of a false 9 than a true number 9, is that his ability to drop back, find clever pockets of space, cause a little chaos in the opposing back line, removes some of the build-up pressure from the wingers, and it puts them into position to be goal scorers. We saw it, last week we saw it for FC Dallas. We've seen it really from day one for FC Dallas this year. We haven't seen a ton of it tonight, but that's the idea, and he's making a good go of it so far.
So does he get this, if he continues to play well tonight, does he get the start in Costa Rica?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And plan to play him whatever, and then Pepe for the last 15, 20 minutes if you need to.
What's wrong with Pepe? Is it a confidence thing? Is it just like what is it? I feel like he's one of these guys where if he just scores one, like he'll kind of, I don't know, that'll maybe set him right. I think it's a mind thing. I think it's in his head.
I think it's because he's a kid. First and foremost, let's not forget that he's a kid.
He's a child,
and what he was able to do, but what he was able to do last year was incredible. Playing with a ton of confidence and playing within a system and an organization that he knows that he's grown up in. And then now you make your first big move over to Europe while you're still trying to qualify for a World Cup with the U.S. national team. All these are new experiences for him. I mean, it wasn't like he was on the national team a year ago or a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. This is all still part of the maturation process, and how he comes out of this going to Qatar, should the U.S., things are looking good. Should they continue to take care of business? That's going to be very important for this group, especially if they get to Qatar. I don't want to be the person that people in the group chat are like, why'd you jinx it? So stop there.
Yeah, there you go. Smart man.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't like that. Ooh.
I don't
it's
either.
Good ooh or ooh?
It's
hard to discern.
a CONCACAF tackle. Ooh,
Oh yeah.
it wasn't as bad as it looked in full speed. So.
For those interested, Honduras is playing Mexico right now. It is currently scoreless in that game. Mexico
didn't rotate their squad at all.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's kind of Tata, right? Like it was one of the big criticisms that we had of him back when he was Atlanta United's manager. He not a guy who likes to use subs. He's not a guy who develops young players or likes to go down the bench. And Mexico fans are not happy with him right now.
That was the biggest takeaway I heard from people that were at that match at the Azteca, is that the Mexican fans were just literally calling for Tata's head pretty much the entire match. They are really, really unhappy with him. And I'm surprised that his tenure has gone as poorly as it has.
As poorly or as long?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. Fair.
And I'll admit, I'm in 2018 when we're figuring out who the next head coach was going to be. I was hoping it would be Tata.
Yeah, a lot of people
because you look at his what he did in MLS obviously speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was great for that Argentina team in the middle of the decade. He was incredible for a Paraguay team in late aughts, early 2010s. Like he just seemed to check absolutely every box. He got off to such a great start with Mexico as well. I am shocked at how this has gone for him and for Mexico. Now they're still almost certainly going to qualify, but they're playing their worst soccer in some time.
Yeah,
right now.
Well, if you look at the difference in the quality of player and the age of player, Andres Guardado has been one of their best players after Chicharito and Carlos Vela. But really, in that first part of his tenure, Andres Guardado was his best player. Yeah. And now he's one of the elder statesmen.
Oh, no.
Starts sometimes, doesn't some other times. And there's just not enough dynamic movement in the midfield, and there's not enough depth up top. If you're looking for Tecatito Corona to score you goals, he's never been a true goal scorer. It's just a different dimension when you have the Velas. I don't know what's going on there. Carlos Vela has a love-hate relationship with the Mexican national team. Javier Hernandez hasn't been really part of things as of late. And so they're really, really struggling to replace those two.
Yeah. Well, it's similar in some ways to where the U.S. were last cycle, where the U.S. got caught at the tail end of a very good, borderline great generation, but they didn't have the backfill of young talent, the lost generation thing. Mexico has that to an extent. Their entire attack is pushing 30 or already there. Their entire midfield is pushing 35, other than Edson Alvarez. And the guys who they're like Charlie Rodriguez, who played the other night, he's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
He's not Guardado. He's not Ache. Yeah, he's not even Jonathan Dos Santos. And like the next generation coming up from Mexico just is not up for it. Oh no! Oh, that would have been so sweet.
I know.
But this is also part of why so many Mexican American kids are being recruited so heavily by the Mexican national team program. Guys like Efra Alvarez, Julian Araujo, David Ochoa. But we could also they've contacted Frankie Amaya, starts for the Red Bulls, and he's been one of the best midfielders in MLS to start the season. Yeah, you're looking at Mike was just looking at that bicycle.
Not the Frankie comment. I do agree with that. Not the Frankie comment. The game.
But there's a look. The U.S. is producing more talent than ever.
Yeah,
and a lot of them are dual nationals. And the U.S. is going to win the battle for some of them, going to lose the battle for the others. It's going to be a net gain for everybody involved, including Mexico. And some fans are going to have to kind of accept that and understand that that's just part of being a multicultural soccer society like we are.
Matt, there's a question from Matafan84. Any chance Tata gets fired before the World Cup, even if Mexico qualify? What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think if they finish fourth and have to go to the playoff against most likely New Zealand, I think that they'll pull the trigger. They'll move on from him. I don't know who they'll go with. Maybe Tuca. But it, like, I think it's a coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen stranger things happen with the Mexican national team, and firings. There's no short of firings for that head coaching job. You are never safe unless you are top of CONCACAF, and even then, unless you're scoring 3 goals a game. So, you know, a lot. This is actually not the last game, but I think this game in particular will be very decisive for Tata. Coming off the U.S. game, fans are already upset. People are already upset. If you follow that up with another poor performance, or now you're pushing towards that 4th place, there's a lot of uncertainty. It's not a good place to be in as a coach.
By the way, Suze, when you were talking before about who the best American forward would be, who do we have? And I just kept thinking to myself, Jonathan David. Speaking of dual nationals, he was born in Brooklyn. He's a U.S. citizen. He's a Canadian citizen. I believe he's also a Haitian citizen. But when he was in the youth ranks, well, first of all, he was raised in Canada, so we should make that clear. But when he was in the youth ranks, the U.S. did not scout him. They like, he had interest. He was willing to listen to whoever.
Oh, Doyle, why you gotta do it?
Did not show him love. Canada did, and now he's out there starting for Canada, playing in the Champions League. He's going to be sold for $40 million to somebody in the EPL this summer. That's the best American forward.
That's cruel, Matt Doyle.
Look at Canada and the attacking riches that they have.
It's incredible.
Well, producer Anders just got in my ear. He's like, Io Akinola. And I was like, oh my God, can you just stop? Can everyone just stop?
our guy Tesho as well.
Oh, Tesho.
We could use him.
I love Tesho.
It's great.
How's Tesho Watch going today?
They got a point on the road.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good result.
Yeah, very good for them. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Come on.
Oh.
He's got speed. He's got speed. Oh, he doesn't have the touch.
This is like, foot. I have been, I watched Thursday's game against Mexico in my hotel room by myself. I ordered Uber Eats. I got McDonald's, and I was just like eating chicken nuggets. And I mean, if somebody had like a camera on me, I just make very weird noises and strange things come out of me. And so now it's like, oh, Susannah, you are on camera. You need to reel it in. But this is just this is real Suze. Y'all are getting.
Could we see
another penalty? Another penalty committed by Anibal Godoy.
What?
Are you kidding? Oh, you were ahead of the game, Doyle.
What?
Sorry, I can't help myself. He just elbowed Miles Robinson in the jaw, man.
What is it? Oh, he is just
Godoy at the wheel.
Oh
my goodness gracious!
Panama have been so brave.
The wheels are off.
They've overperformed throughout qualifying, and it's just fallen apart.
The wheels are
for
off
them. The other night, drawing at home against a terrible Honduras team. And it needs to be said, both of these penalties have come off of set pieces. So these aren't direct set piece goals like we're talking about, but this is dominance from the U.S. on restarts in a way that we've only seen once before in the Ocho.
Wow.
You know what? Maybe they were just saving it for the last half of the Ocho, and I love they should rebrand it as the Ocho. I love that, and I think you should be the ringleader. You should be the face of the Ocho.
Oh God,
No, David Goss. David Goss is the face of the Ocho. Come on now.
What is he doing?
Oh, that is
God,
you can't do that.
Yo. And right before halftime, oh my goodness.
As a coach, what do you say to Godoy at that point?
Stop doing that.
Go to the corner. Like literally, it's like a timeout. You need a timeout. It's like a parent. Like you go sit there and think about what you did. Come back to me after. It's just ridiculous.
Oh man.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, guys, this is boy. I really, if El Salvador could have equalized, man, and we could, God, how good would we be feeling right now?
I'd be on my third drink instead of my first.
Right?
I still feel pretty good right now.
I still feel really good.
I feel great. I feel great, but I'm just like, I just want to know.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Anybody remember the score of the game before Couva?
Ooh. Was that a 4-0?
Stop it.
It was 4-0 U.S. over
Matt,
Panama
what?
in Orlando. In Orlando.
No, don't say those
Why
things.
are you doing this?
Don't say those things. You know, I've eaten half a bowl of popcorn since you said that you weren't feeling good coming into this one.
That is mean, and I don't appreciate it.
My mood now is the same body posture as the Panama goalkeeper, just hands on hips.
Okay, so we won 4-0 at Orlando, and then I think we're still in a better position.
Much better position.
We're still in a better position.
We needed a result in that one.
Yeah, this is like we've got goals, and listen, putting up 4. This is helpful.
There's some CONCACAF happening now.
This is helpful. Oh, you knew it was coming.
So the goal differential is the U.S. are right now plus 13. Costa Rica's plus 3. That means Costa Rica would have to win by 6 goals if this score stands.
Okay. Yeah.
Total
What
sidebar.
was
someone needs to grab Pulisic?
Yeah.
like Ace. Like
Tyler Adams is playing peace. What's he all? I missed it. What happened?
I think the problem. Who knows when you're on the field? Someone probably said something, but someone from Panama kicked the ball at him. I think from the sidelines.
Oh, Christian. Oh, there we go.
Rush of blood to the head.
Just calm down.
Push. Yeah, I don't know.
Might not want to be about that life when you're up 4-0.
He's just very. He seems very angsty lately.
Fiery. Yep. Oh, that De La Torre.
Calm down.
You know what?
Look at Tyler.
From Tyler Adams.
Tyler Adams and Walker Zimmerman are my captains.
Yeah, they have to be.
I love that.
Lip reading. Get out of here is what I read.
Colorful language.
You might not be a professional lip reader.
Yeah, you're right.
That was a good.
Oh, you guys.
Oh,
Guys.
4-0. Did you just blow the whistle on a potential goal scoring opportunity? Come on, dude.
Okay. All right, kids. It's halftime. U.S. sitting pretty with a 4-0 lead. This is, I'll be honest, didn't really see this coming, but I'm not mad at it. I mean, I think we said it like that the first 10 minutes was not good, but they've just really, really took it to Panama. This is very encouraging. Matt Doyle, what are your thoughts as we head into halftime?
So many of these games are about energy and moments. like being sharper in the moment than they are about tactics. And I know that's a stupid thing for me to say because like my job is writing about tactics. But this is not a masterclass from the US. They're not out there tiki-taking like Panama off the field. They just started winning the ball in better spots and out competing this Panama team that has been like so brave throughout qualifying.
Yeah.
And the US is they're big brothering them, man. They're just pushing them around. It took 10 minutes, but once they got that, once Walker Zimmerman was able to earn that penalty and Christian Pulisic put it away, Panama got desperate. The US stayed cool. And this is just a veteran professional performance from the US, burying a team that is desperate, and you love to see it.
Oh,
You
Michael.
know, what I love about what I'm seeing is everyone is doing their job from front to back. And Zach Steffen, he tightened it up a little bit. First 15 minutes, 20 minutes, if you will. It's a couple spills, shaky moments. But Walker Zimmerman started with him with that very intelligent play. But Paul Arriola functioning very well. Yeah. And just everyone playing within a level of a game plan. But it's the grit that was shown as Azteca is followed them back to Orlando. And if a team's going to make it a dogfight, you meet them where you're at and you make it a dogfight, and then you beat them in a soccer match. And I think that's the difference. They're beating them in the soccer match.
That got me hyped, Mike. That got me hyped.
I know Doyle really liked that one.
Let's go. Come on, man.
No, I got a question for Doyle, because before the game started, you said, you had some trust issues with this team.
Yeah.
You didn't necessarily, like, how has this moved the needle for you in regard to that? Because to me, this is, they're putting out a performance. They're putting out exactly the type of performance that they needed to have.
Yeah. It's moved the needle significantly for me. Like guys like Adams and Zimmerman, Luca Della Torre has been superb, and this is a guy who was basically not on the radar 12 months ago. And then Pulisic, I don't think Pulisic's playing that well, but he's doing what the star player is supposed to do. When you get a chance, whether it's run a play or penalty kick, you bury it. I would not have bet my life on that heading into tonight, but from this US. But man, that last 35 minutes, it was a different level. And yeah, just like, all right, see it out, maybe get another, go to Costa Rica, take care of business, and we'll see y'all in Qatar. And I was not sure we were going to be saying that tonight.
Yeah, I think, from a supporter's perspective, from a fan's perspective, that is what you want to see. You want to see that attitude. You want to see that mentality. You know what it means to you. Like, you want to see it literally on the pitch. And I think that is exactly what we are witnessing here tonight. And for me, I think I agreed with you. Like, and I had probably some trust issues with this team in terms of them showing up for these important games. And it's really, really encouraging that this is the type of performance that they're putting out on the field tonight, especially at home. There's just, and again, I just want to remind everyone, the pre-show was basically like us, like being like Debbie Downers. We're like, oh God, guys have stomach bugs. We got yellow cards.
In there. I was a positive one. Don't throw me in there.
No, you started, Michael Lahoud. You started. We brought you to the dark side. We brought you to the dark side, and that's on us. That's on us.
I changed pretty quickly.
That's on us. That's totally our fault. But let's take a look at a couple of the goals that we saw in the first half, starting with, oh my gosh, is this the Paul Arriola goal that we're going to watch?
Oh, it's a beautiful ball in.
Oh, that header. Honestly, the long ball, who was that? Who?
Has to be Zimmerman.
Has to be Zimmerman coming from there. The way it was
Zimmerman.
shaped, it was either Zimmerman or like maybe Tyler Adams dropped back and booted one, but he doesn't usually do that.
That secondary assist was incredible, and then that ball from De La Torre, and then Paul Arriola just using his head so well. Here
we go. But what I like about what Pulisic did is, so many times as a winger, you try and do too much, where you're isolated 1v1, and you know that the numbers aren't there yet.
Mm-hmm.
So what he does, he checks his dribbling and then turns back around and allows Jedi to make up the ground. And now you have a 2v1. As an outside back, there's nothing you can do. You can't get there. It's 10, 15 yards away. But what it does, it allows the other runners to get in the box. It gives that half second's time to get numbers in the box. In the first 10 minutes, the U.S., only Ferreira was in the box, not enough numbers getting forward. Now they're figuring it out, get numbers in the box, overwhelm this Panama team, and it's working just to a plumb.
Yeah, this is that goal from Jesus Ferreira, too. They were just showing. I mean, just again, like incredible. Look at this. Here we go. We're showing it again. There it is. Boom.
It's just good soccer.
It is.
You know, the ability to combine in those,
right here,
those
right
half
there.
spaces, recognize, take the space.
So a small note on that is the numerical advantage for the U.S. national team. When you are establishing possession in the attack, you want to always have more numbers than the other team has. And it started off with a 3v2, and then it became a 4v3. And then De La Torre recognizes he's on the left-hand side, and he recognizes there's a pocket of space. And as a defensive midfielder, you're caught in no man's land. Do you stay and screen the pass into Ferreira, or do you go at De La Torre? And now that passing lane is for Ferreira, who's 1v1 with the center back. But De La Torre, he's there, and Panama pretty much freeze. And now there's dynamic movement. So it's well done from him. And obviously you have to deliver the ball to Shaq Moore.
All right, let's talk about any changes that we might see in the second half. We mentioned possibly taking Tyler Adams off, not only for rest, but also he's on that yellow card. Do you anticipate, Matt Doyle, that Greg Berhalter is going to make some changes here for the second 45?
I would be surprised if he made halftime changes. I think he'll make changes at the hour mark.
Okay.
I think 3 guys will come off at the hour mark. Probably, I hope Tyler.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's one guy he's going to take off at the half, it's Tyler.
Yeah.
But like at the hour mark, I would want to see Tyler come off. I would want to see probably Pulisic come off.
Mm-hmm.
I would maybe want to see Yunus Musa come off because like he's a great player, but like he looked dead tired at the end of that game the other night. So those 3 guys, Miles Robinson is one to consider because he's on the yellow.
He's on the yellow, yeah.
That said, I kind of trust Aaron Long to start in
Do you really?
Costa Rica. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so, right? Like I don't see a reason not to. He's played really well.
He has played really well for the Red Bulls.
He has CONCACAF experience both in Nations League and in CCL. Remember, he's been in like some of the biggest club games this region can offer.
Yeah.
Plus, he's a veteran, man. Like he knows this is his one chance to play in a World Cup. He's not going to be around for 2026.
Yeah.
So I think I think that kind of matters to guys. So I like of the guys of I guess Tyler and Miles. Tyler is the one I would be more interested in taking off to make sure that he doesn't get suspended for the Costa Rica game. The other one I should mention is Anthony Robinson, just because he's done so much work.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Lahoud, what do you think?
For halftime, the only thing I'm changing is my drink of choice. Might have to go sneak a Heineken in. But other than that, I wouldn't make a change at halftime. I think, like I said before, 45 minutes is too early. And I know you're dealing with yellow card cautions, and you don't want to lose anyone. I would keep Robinson in because the physicality that they're imposing on Panama is they're steady. And maybe later on, maybe if you get another one, I mean, what a night that would be to cap it off with another goal. But I would keep that one in my back pocket just in case. Maybe you rest them, but I mean these guys haven't had much to do defensively. I know we had some of the bobbles with Stefan and whatnot. I think Pulisic, that's a player that has to come off in the 60th minute. You're going to need him in Costa Rica, but that little flashpoint that you saw with the Panamanian players, as a coach, you see that and you say, okay, put in my little notebook. He's going to come off, let him cool off. His job is done. Save it for Wednesday.
Yeah. What do you? I know it's a 4-0 lead, so you're feeling obviously like pretty comfortable. But what? What should the U.S. not do? Like, is there? I mean, tactically, Matt, like, are they gonna sit back more like with this lead? Like, what? What should they do? Don't exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm basically trying to say.
There is an argument that, like, okay, you might need to use the 5-4-1 sometime in the future. So if you can get reps with it in a game that matters, like, now's the time to practice it. But like, they're really bad when they play in the 5-4-1. They shouldn't do it. That's what friendlies this summer are for. Yeah. So I say just stick with this 4-3-3. Be more conservative with the fullbacks where you need to be more conservative with the fullbacks. Be smart about the subs that you make. And other than that, like, go out there. It's 0-0. And maybe get another if you can. But don't run yourself into the ground doing it. Just make sure that you're professional about seeing the game out.
Would this be a good opportunity for maybe some of the younger guys that are on the bench to get some experience? Or is it still too much at stake to like bring in a Palmer or a Busio into a match like this?
If it's 4-0 or 5-0 in the 80th minute, 75th, 80th minute, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite there yet, right? Okay. Like Bello is the only one I could think of, but that's just necessity. Yeah. That's just because, like, I don't want Anthony Robinson to do any more running than he absolutely has to do. Because that game, I know, like that game Wednesday in Costa Rica, that game still counts, man. That game still matters. So if you can catch him an extra 30 minutes, 35 minutes of rest, then you do that. But the rest of them, it's just not, we didn't pick up enough points earlier in the Ocho to have the luxury of resting guys who matter at this point. We just don't.
I would say I agree with that, but the Busio point, I mean, this is a player who's playing in Serie A, who you're not playing him just for experience. You're playing him to give the Yunus Musa a rest. You're playing him because he can play as a 6. He can play as an 8. And I'd have him and De La Torre in there. Let the young boys run. Let them run like the wind and get a taste of CONCACAF, meaningful CONCACAF minutes. But really, you're doing it not so much for the young guys. You're doing it to give your mainstays a rest because they're going to need every ounce of energy come Wednesday in Costa Rica. What
about PFOC? Putting him in there, boost his confidence a little.
I would go with Pepe instead.
Really,
Pepe's the guy who needs the confidence boost, given his age, given where he is, with his club. If you're going to take Jesus off, I would lean towards Pepe rather than PFOC.
I kind of don't want. I don't want them to take Jesus off. I sort of, it's just like, no, like we need some consistency in that position. And it's like, just give him, he's playing well. Just keep him. If it ain't broke, just leave it in there. That's my thought. But what do I know?
You do that. You can do that. But what Ferreira does that I like, on a play in the first half, they score a couple goals, and he is chasing down Godoy. And he makes a foul. But he works defensively with the U.S. national team. That is a difference between what you get with him versus somebody. Pepe doesn't do that. Yeah. Pepe gives you other attributes, but Ferreira can run like a midfielder to track back as well. In Costa Rica, if you get an early goal, if you're up 1-0, you're going to need to make 1 or 2 extra runs as a striker to track a defender in ways that you don't have to tonight. And your job's done. If you're Ferreira, you have your goal. Maybe you get yourself another one to really boost your confidence, but this is a player that isn't in need of scoring more goals. He came off a hat trick coming into this game. So his confidence is there. He's got that taste of dipping in the goal well. And at a certain point, you need to start focusing more on Pepe. Now, if you can get a Pepe who scored a goal, and look at Christian Pulisic. Mm-hmm. It wasn't too long ago where he was just derived of confidence, and he scored a goal in a rout of a game. And now he's stepping up, and those things matter when you have to have a player step up to take a penalty kick. He took 2 tonight, and he cashed them in. It's a
good point. It's a very good point. I also too, I just think, we kind of talked about it earlier, but I think like going to Costa Rica, where the U.S. have never won, correct? Matt Doyle, correct. Never won. I just think the confidence thing is really important, and you want to go there and you want to perform well. You want to feel good about finishing these World Cup qualifiers and have some, I don't know, momentum, confidence at your back. And I think those are really, really good points, Michael Lahoud, because it does matter. It does matter. Let's see. We've got a good kick channel. The USA needs more goals for the goal differential. You can never have enough goals. I agree.
With that.
Goals are good.
Good point.
Goals are good. And we're just, yes, very, very well said. We'll take more. We'll take lots more. I am fine with that. Second half underway. P.S. everybody.
Gio's on, and Gio just could have made it 5-0.
Gio Reyna, y'all. I mean, this kid, I will tell you, like, the chat was just going nuts over his run at the Azteca. And it's just glimpses of what this kid is capable of. How old is Gio?
19.
19.
Jeez.
Yeah.
He's looking
Gio,
with the new
so Gio, Musa, Pepe, and Joe Scally were all born within like 6 weeks of each other.
Golly.
Wow.
In 2002, like late 2002, early 2003. No. I don't know what that means, but like pretty good.
Pretty good. Oh man, he's also shaved his head, Gio.
Yeah. I believe that means the future looks very bright.
I like
it
that.
Sure does, man.
Okay, so Greg did make some changes.
He did. Tyler Adams very lucky to avoid a yellow card right there.
All right, get him off now.
Kellen Acosta for Yunus Musa and Gio for Paul Arriola. How do we feel about that?
I'm really surprised at the Arriola one.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
I like if there was anybody on that team that you would be okay with them going 90 and just completely emptying the tank. It's given the score line, it's Arriola, and the fact that he was awesome. It's Paul Arriola. It's not what I want to see. I mean, granted, I don't think the backups will lose 6-0 in Costa Rica, but like,
crawl into Greg Berhalter's brain and tell me why he did that. Can you please?
I guess goal differential. I don't know. I mean, he wants he's managing. He's not just managing players; they're not just chessboard pieces. He's managing egos, right? No player likes to be subbed off.
Yeah,
nobody, especially if you're a star. And a lot of these guys are stars with their teams, and so that is probably playing a role with it. I hate it, but I'm not a jock. So I don't know how that feels. So,
block. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a peculiar decision. Knowing that you can still get quality minutes for Gio, given some of the recent health concerns. His first contribution to the game, he runs him behind, running 50 yards, almost latches onto what was a good opportunity. So he looks more than healthy right now. But I don't know. I think this has been one of the things that I've always struggled with the U.S. men's national team is that at the end of the day, you win tonight, you take control of your own destiny. If you get into the numbers game, you're inviting something really awful to happen for, potentially getting that fourth place or whatnot. But you should have confidence going to Costa Rica. Yes, they got a result, but they're a Costa Rica team that was very lucky to get a win against Canada. When I say lucky, I mean like the post, the crossbar, everything happened in their favor. Lightning does not strike twice. At least I hope not.
Oof. Oof.
Is that an oof tackle or
Oof tackle? CONCACAF.
CONCACAF.
Oof.
We've been CONCACAF. Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Oy, yay, yay.
One thing that needs to be said, by the way, is how much better the teams 4 through 8 in CONCACAF are than they used to be.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's night and day. It's not quite that, but like it's in the neighborhood. Like these teams, they're not just going out. Like obviously there are hard tackles, and you know nobody's gonna mistake Panama for prime Spain or anything. But like this team's balling. Like they're going out there and they're trying to string passes together, and they're trying to play real soccer. They're gonna miss the World Cup, but this is compared to fifth place teams that we've seen in the past. These guys are good.
Yeah.
These guys are good. They're just getting a little bit outworked and outplayed tonight. But they, I feel a little bad for them, but well, I guess not that bad.
Yeah, I don't. Nah.
I thought the drink was taken over there when you
Nah.
said that.
Yeah.
I was like, is this Matt Doyle on one?
Nah.
What?
Nah, I don't feel bad.
That's fair.
Yeah, well, I could tell you, on the other side of the coin, not a person in CONCACAF feels bad for the U.S. when they lose.
No.
It's a very good point. It's a very good point. Oh, this is interesting. So someone in the chat is asking, Martin, if Tata gets fired by Mexico, do you think he would come back to coach in MLS?
I do.
Yeah.
I think he'd have a lot of interest. Certainly he would want to go to a big market, and Miami's a big market, and they might have an opening soon. But I would not be at all surprised if he ended up back in MLS. That said, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he ended up back with a national team in South America, like a second tier, like a Paraguay, Ecuador type. Well, not going to be Ecuador because they qualified for the World Cup, so they're in good shape. But
what about a team like Peru?
Yeah, well,
pushing.
Gareca is going to be there forever. It seems like, right? Like
true.
he's a legend. But that like Chile is an obvious one. I think at this point. So I think MLS would be on the list. But I wouldn't bet my life on it.
Okay.
But certainly if I was an MLS owner or GM, he would be like
that call.
Yeah, he would be like the first call I make.
Yeah. All right, guys. What's going on in the chat, guys? Come on, y'all. What can we ask the chat? Let's think of a good question for the chat. What do you want to take the temperature on?
Is Zach Steffen's performance tonight making you convinced that he's the number one?
That's a good one.
Or is it Matt Turner's when he comes back? Because
good question, Matt Doyle.
Zach Steffen was really good the other night. Tonight he's playing like he's a fan pulled out of the stands that they gave the goalkeeper.
There's some good fans in the stands somewhere.
Didn't they have to do that at a hockey game once? Like, didn't they literally have to pull somebody? I swear to God, that's a true story. That's a great question, Matt Doyle. Okay, chat, let us know. What do you think? Has Zach Steffen earned his way into the number one keeper position? Or are we anxiously awaiting the return of Matt Turner? And should he get the nod? Tell us. Let us know.
Or should it be Gaga Slonina?
Or I love Gaga Slonina. You guys.
He's got a huge future.
It's just so exciting. It's very exciting. He looks so chill and the guy is like, he's a teenager. He's like 17 and he plays with such confidence. Oh, I just cannot. I can't. Oh, Matt Turner is overwhelmingly winning the chat.
Wow.
Matt Turner. Okay. Aaron Baker says, I still think Turner is the better shot stopper. Matt Turner is all the way. Turner for sure. Oh my goodness. It is like Stefan making me very nervous. It is like 90% Turner.
He's Turner vision. Jeez.
Marcus Mates, Nick Raimondo. There you go.
The legend himself.
I like it. I like it. Ooh, Gaga, Slonina getting some love. Thank you very much, William Reed. Appreciate you. Doyle, that was a great question. People really, people really jumped on that one. That was good. That was real good.
Here's one for y'all. What would it take for an MLS striker, besides Jesus Ferreira, to play his way into the national team for the World Cup?
Oh,
are we talking 20 goals? Like,
I mean,
if Brandon Vasquez or Brian White scored 20 goals this year, would that do it?
If Brandon Vasquez scores 20 goals, if he scores 15, you put him in the pool.
I have a question.
Very big on him.
I have a good one.
Me too.
Let's say Jazzy just starts
I love
banging him in. Jazzy is on fire. Literally can't miss. Does he get the call up? What do you think? What do you think? Guys, tell us. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that just be something?
Big Shaq.
It would. I just think we already know what Jossie's limitations. We know he's a very good goal scorer, but we know his limitations as well. And I think that we might be at the point where Berhalter wants more than just goal scoring.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's like we've all been in relationships, right?
Oh, I love these analogies. Let's go.
It's like you date this person, and then you guys get really serious. But then you're like, nah, not really what I'm looking for. But then you come back and date them again and think, this is the time. Then you break up. But then you're like, no, stop. Stop. Jassy Zardes has had a great MLS career, and that's not a knock.
I just can't quit you. I just can't quit you.
No, you got to finish that. Oh, they got to finish that. But I think at this point in the trajectory of where the men's national team is going, if you bring him in for his leadership because he's a character guy on top of being a good soccer player. But if you're looking for him to be your leading number 9 at this point in his form, and this is hypothetical of him getting 15 to 20 goals, it's like going on the date again. You know?
I agree. I think that's a very good analogy.
But I think we all agree that we want Jossie to make it just for the content opportunity.
Instead of 50 first dates, it's 51 first dates. The 51st time.
Controversial though. Stefan says that Jossie is better than Pepe right now.
But I mean, Sean is probably looking at the data and
the data.
You know. Letting that guide him. I don't know if that is his real name. Who can even say? Sean Stebbins sounds made up,
doesn't it?
Come on, Big Shaq, get up.
I know. What is going on, you guys? We can't afford this. No, shake it up. Rub some dirt on it, Shaq. Let's go.
I mean, he got kicked right in the stomach, man. That's brutal.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him, by the way. I hope he didn't look at social media the past few days because people were brutal about him. And he hasn't had the greatest year with his club team, but he's been good for the U.S. in he's played 13 games. He's been good in 11 of them. And he's a pro. And, he hasn't been in this situation before, but he's been in tough situations before. And he deserves more respect than he got from the U.S. fan base. And I'm happy to see him having a game tonight. He's played really, really well.
So what does this do for if you're Greg Berhalter, then, because he likes guys like that, like this is something he values in his team, a guy like Shaq Moore who can step up in that situation.
I mean, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, sure.
I think Serginho Dest is far and away the number one choice at right back. I don't think anybody really disagrees with that. I personally love Reggie Cannon. He would be my second choice, but he doesn't have that on lock. DeAndre Yedlin doesn't have that on lock. If Shaq Moore, stays in Tenerife and starts every game and balls out. If he comes to Nashville, which is a long-standing report that there is interest there, and he comes to Nashville and he balls out, I think there is absolutely a chance for him to play his way into the U.S. roster, not as a starter, as Dest's backup.
Okay,
but that, I mean. He's got to get the minutes. He wasn't starting until 3 weeks ago in Spain. He's got it. This is nice. Oh, come on, Jesus.
I'm behind.
Okay. What's going
on?
Oh no! Why? Why?
Oh my!
Why?
Oh my God! No. He was
leaning
back.
What is
leaning back? The ball. I wonder if the ball was a little bit behind him, but I think he's just leaning back too much. Whenever you do that, you get too much backlift.
Oh.
Great
that was not as easy as I am making it out.
No, it wasn't leaning back. It wasn't behind him.
At the same time.
Bad execution.
Oh God.
I think it was bobbling up a little bit on the turf.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, here's a question from Steven Archer or Stevan Archer, whatever. Aaron Herrera. Does he make the final roster? Doyle. It's a good one. It's a tasty one.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Though, in my mind, there is no distinction between him and Cannon and Yedlin and Shaq Moore. All those guys are really, really good players. All those guys, I think, have a shot at it. That said, of that list, Herrera is the one who hasn't factored in for the U.S. at all. Not since U23 Olympic qualifying. And it feels like he would need a monster season.
Yeah.
An absolutely monster season to get his name in. And let's not forget, Joe Scally, even though he's not here, Joe Scally's in the mix. Brian Reynolds, he hasn't had a great go of it in Italy, but he's playing now in Belgium. He's in the mix. These guys, Brian Reynolds is a ridiculous talent. So a lot of things can happen between now and November when the team goes to Qatar. Assuming, of course, because it's not official.
It's not official.
Assuming that they actually go.
Oh, hey, Aaron Long sighting.
We're going 5.
Here we go.
You think they're going 5, or you think he's just going to bring off Miles?
I think he's going to bring off Miles.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm trying to psych myself out by just getting ahead of it, just in case it happens.
Please, no, I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to go 5. No.
But if he's going Aaron Long, why is Tyler Adams still out there? Given that the game tends to get stretched the longer it goes, and now as a defensive midfielder, you can get caught in transition where you're having to make a tackle and you mistime it. Yellow card. Too much gas coming out of my ears right now. Too much steam. Gosh.
Yeah, it's. I like a lot about Berhalter, and I honestly think he deserved this performance because he's mostly had his team playing really good soccer. They just have kind of let him down with the finishing.
Yeah.
But some of his sub patterns and squad rotation stuff, it does leave me scratching my head.
Jeez.
Guys, that Honduras-Mexico game still scoreless, by the way.
Time check?
61st
we have
minute.
61st minute. And I will say, I've only seen, I have not been paying attention, but I have not seen Mexico have hardly any chances at all.
Could be a problem.
Yeah. It's long for Miles Robinson. 61st minute. So they're staying with 4 at the back.
Behind this decision. But I agree. Please, can we get Tyler Adams off of there?
I'll come out of retirement. Put me back in.
Michael Lahoud is ready to go. Wait,
Anders, put that out there.
You have a story because you had a conversation. I don't remember what year this was, but this was like back in the day. And Bob Bradley was like, "Hey, Michael Lahoud, I'm looking at you, and I need you to tell this story right now because you had a brush. You had a brush, and I need to know what happened."
So this is a U.S. men's national team.
Oh my God!
Oh, before that, was it a goal?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Oh, we'll hold that.
Okay.
Yeah, hold that story a minute, Michael, because wow.
Okay.
You just saw a $70 million winger score a goal, man.
Oh my gosh! What a touch! Oh my gosh! Are you kidding me? Yep. Bag that story. This is the true story. Get your hats out, folks.
What did we
Get your hats out,
just see?
What a touch.
Oh my God. I need to see this on repeat like 20 times in a row. OMG.
Goalkeeper's thinking about the flight home.
That is filthy.
Just. Oh my God.
Boop. Just a little bit harder than the one he missed in Mexico. My God.
That's the thing. It's like he does that.
Jeez.
He does that. And then, oh my God. That is a sensation. Oh my God.
Wow. Stoink.
Christian Pulisic with the Hattie.
All right. That better make Sports Center.
No, this is not.
That is filth.
This is second. He's going.
Two guys.
He is feeling it.
See ya.
He is feeling it.
All right. Now, do you take him off?
Yeah.
Well,
right.
we were saying about Tyler Adams as well. I'm just going to keep saying that till it happens, or till it's 90 minutes and it hasn't happened yet.
I can't get over it. I can't.
Bring Sands on.
Right? Like bring James Sands on, get him a little bit of run.
Okay, so this is what we're thinking now. We're like 5-0. We good?
Yeah.
Bring on some youngins.
Bring in some youngins. Get the guys who matter most some rest. And I would honestly say leave Pulisic on and get Adams and Jedi Robinson off.
Yep.
Yeah. But my only thing with that is this is a Panama team. The Panamas, the Costa Ricas, in CONCACAF, after a certain minute, they can be very volatile.
Yeah.
In terms of just tempers flaring. If you leave Pulisic on for maybe 10 more minutes, you don't want to be sitting here saying, we should have taken him off before he gets kicked or something like that, because they will target him at some point. Oh, get up, Zimmerman.
Yeah,
please.
You're fine.
Please.
You're good.
Oh. Oh, we're off. Come on, Gio.
Guys, people really no more Pulisic slander. That's the rallying cry from the chat.
Oh no. So a yellow for Pulisic.
Oh yeah.
Shake of the head.
So apparently Pulisic did a worm celebration. I completely missed it.
Yeah, it was really awful.
Was it terrible? Okay.
It was.
I'm glad I missed it.
It was worse than his giddy.
I don't want to take any
so
shine
bad.
off of that beautiful goal. So I'm glad I didn't see it. The worm. Oh, that's a interesting choice.
Have you
He's just paying respects to Gen Xers like myself.
Yeah.
That is.
Have you seen the Declan Rice Mason Mount giddy? Total sidebar.
I have not seen that.
No.
It wasn't as bad as Declan Rice's. Declan Rice needs some oil in his joints, so at least there's a bit more emotion there.
Oh, guys, we've got the Pulisic goal teed up, so let's take a look at it again because it was awfully pretty. And that. It is amazing, though. I mean, Doyle, you said it. Like he makes that happen. But but then you think about the one he missed at Aztec, and you're like, how? Because that was just that's a insanely. I just can't even the level of difficulty.
It's video game stuff, man.
It is. It wow. Literally is. Oh my god!
It's a great PK.
So 5 subs made now for the US, right?
Okay. Pulisic just came off.
Pulisic and Adams. Busio and Morris are on.
So now I can actually breathe. Number 4 is off. That's the one.
Yep.
There we go.
Is it 5 or is it 4 subs? I think it's only 4 subs. Acosta, Reina. Well, no, it's 5 subs.
All right. Let's see what the kids can do.
A Gio Reyna goal would just be the icing.
Wouldn't it?
On top.
I mean, oh my God. Oh my God.
You get that. You go to Costa Rica. Oh, man.
The only thing I'm bummed about here is that Christian Roldan didn't get on the field.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's been so good for the Sounders.
So good.
Hopefully he'll start against Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
You're pulling for that.
I really am. I love him. I think he's I think he's so good. And like, hopefully he'll start, get 60 minutes and then go do work with the Sounders in CCL.
This is just
everyone on the chat. This is my cat. This is General So.
Oh,
hey, raise a
yes. Yes.
Every time I start up the stream, either General So or Taquito jumps in my lap. So they love the camera.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it isn't a show with Doyle unless the
cats are here.
The cats
They're
make an
always
appearance.
Here. Yeah,
they are the best. I'm all about the cat content.
Should the U.S. men's national team, like I said, we still got to be realistically optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Should they make it to Qatar? Are you thinking of getting any cat outfits? Not USMNT jerseys for Qatar? What's the?
So Taquito's very nationalistic, so he'll probably be wearing the USA cowboy hat and everything. But like, awesome. Baby girl is more of a citizen of the proletariat, citizen of the world. So she doesn't believe in borders and all that. More a working class type of thing.
Awesome.
Oh, guys, Mexico just scored.
1-0
over Honduras.
KNS.
Let's see, who was that?
It looks like it was Edson. Looks like it was Edson Alvarez. The D-Med.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's probably. I wasn't watching it all.
Off a corner.
Seppies? Yeah.
Yep. Header. Nice header. Really nice header. Wow.
Yeah, that was very nice. That was like a classic Michael Bradley one. He used to be so good at those near post headers.
Mm-hmm.
Scored a couple against Mexico, as a matter of fact. So right now, if you're looking on the stream, you see that they've already updated the points. Mexico are still in third place, even with the U.S. on points, but behind because of goal differential.
Look, and listen, that goal differential just keeps creeping up.
Pumping it.
Pour it on.
Let's go. Let's go. Don't stop now.
What's that? Who sings that? Is that Queen?
That's Queen.
Yeah. Okay, I mean,
having a good time. That should be.
Wait,
Wait,
Lahoud, do you have pipes? Can you sing? Yeah, that was like
I heard
resonant right there.
Oh, man,
I heard
it. I used to be the karaoke champ.
Yeah.
What was your song?
Yeah, one of a few, but definitely in our household, we're big on Queen. We actually have a karaoke machine.
What?
That we bring out for the we are heavy on karaoke. We bring it to family for the holidays.
Level.
Yeah,
I like that. I would like to be invited to a Lahoud party.
Oh, coming soon. We're doing renovation, everything.
You must love all those Austin bands coming out now. Like Charlie Crockett's amazing. Leon Bell, like there's a lot. Leon Bridges, rather, there's a lot of music coming out. I mean, there always has been. But.
Yeah, well, it's really cool to see just the city and the local artists get their shine, because as the city grows, the music grows, the food and everything that comes with it. But when we do our broadcasts, you almost take it for granted sometimes, because you're in the booth, you're not able to hear it. But when you're a fan and it's a national TV game and you get to see the talent that comes through and performs, you're like, holy smokes, like this is incredible.
So cool. Doyle, the cats are a hit.
Oh, of course.
Chat loves the cat.
Ooh, I like the chat loves the cat. I like that.
We're donating to the cat's uniform fund, says Tim.
I like that.
Thank you.
Like that.
Let's go. It's amazing.
Cat's uniform fund.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we like this.
This is, I mean, oh gosh, I just.
Panama spirit is broken, man. They just don't have anything
left. They are just literally watching the clock, like make this end now. And for the U.S., I mean, I think there was it was a funny reaction after the Mexico match, because Michael said it at the top of the show, going to the Azteca and taking a point, like, thank you. Like, you take that pretty much any day of the week. But I think because they had those like wide open chances and it so could have easily been a win, people were a little bit, I don't know, it kind of, I felt it. I was nervous heading into this match. Like it felt like it put way more importance on this. And for them to have a performance like this, put up 5 goals, you go to Costa Rica feeling really, really good about yourself, a good headspace, good mentality. This is exactly what we could have hoped for.
Yeah.
Well, with that in mind, here's a question for the chat. What has surprised you most about this group, given tonight's performance?
They're under 40% possession. If you look at the way the U.S. has played throughout the Ocho, even when they've been winning, they've been dominating the ball. No, obviously game state plays a big factor in it. As soon as Panama went down, they're like, we have to equalize. We have to get on the ball. We have to. So like that is always a thing, but this is not how the U.S. have played traditionally. The under Greg Berhalter, I should say. This is a different sort of approach, and obviously it's working. Like this team is absolutely deadly going forward in transition. And as soon as Panama leaves space in behind, this group, they're just ruthless with it. And it's great to see. And it hasn't always been that way in qualifying. And I think there's been a segment of the fan base that's frustrated that we have tried to play with the ball so much instead of playing against the ball a little bit, bringing teams up and then hitting in behind. And honestly, I feel that. Like, I feel if we had been this pragmatic earlier in the cycle, maybe we'd be on 28 points like Canada are. But like that is the big surprise to me tonight.
I like that.
Doyle, the chat, a lot of people in the chat have been talking about Luca De La Torre, his performance tonight. Really impressed with him. For you, where is he on your depth chart? Because he's looked really impressive.
He has. I have him as the third number 8, right? Like when Weston gets healthy, he's number 1. Moose is number 2, and then De La Torre is number 3. And then beyond those guys, because Keller Acosta is a really good player. He can play as a number 8. He's a 6. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he is, to me, he's Tyler Adams' backup. Mm-hmm. I don't really have him mentally on the depth chart for number 8s. So the question is, who's the fourth number 8? Right now, probably Busio. Mm-hmm. I don't super rate Busio that highly. Mm-hmm. I love Paxton Pomykal. I love Eric Williamson. I would like to see those guys.
Eric, I think he's close to coming back too, isn't he?
Mm. Yep. So I would love to see those guys get on the field, play 2,500 minutes this year, and put some pressure on and see if they're see what shakes out. Tanner Tessman, by the way, another teammate of Busio in Venezia in Serie A, like he's really good too. So I'm hoping one of those guys makes a strong case for themselves in the exact same way that Luca De La Torre has. Because Luca De La Torre has done it with his club team. Mm-hmm. And now when he's gotten on the field in games that matter and had a chance to win a spot, he's gone out there and he's done it.
What I like about him is that you have a little bit of something different. We saw it in that game in Minnesota where he grew so much in that game, but he does the work on both sides of the ball. He's not just a luxury player, but he has that bit of quality, that link-up play that when you have Weston McKennie in, when you have Musa in, when you have Tyler Adams in, Musa and Tyler Adams want the ball to fit and to drop. And De La Torre, he can get the ball in transition. He can dribble, where Weston McKennie just gives you something different, dynamic. And Weston McKinney's a runner. He's a box-to-box midfielder, but his runs, we see him do it at Juve. He does it with the men's national team. With De La Torre, when you have to break down a team that sits back deep, I think he's a good option because he's so good in tight spaces. He can beat you on the dribble, spin out of pressure, but his just intelligence, his IQ, his soccer IQ is just very impressive for a young player.
Yeah, agreed with all of that.
Man, it's nuts. It's when the U.S. win 5-0, even the popcorn tastes better.
I know. I need snacks. Now I need snacks. Let's see. What have you guys said? What are you surprised? What surprised me the most?
I want to know what the chat's confidence level is in Jesus Ferreira. Like, let's say he has 15 goals and 9 assists in MLS this year, and he goes. We go to Qatar, and he's the number 1 center forward. He's the starting number 9. How does the chat feel about that? He has a really good year at MLS, but not like a Joseph Martinez, Carlos Vela type of, I'm curious how the people feel.
All right. Tell us, people, how do you feel? How would you feel about Jesus Ferreira being the starting number 9? Let us know. Another good question. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, here's a good one for you, Doyle. Somebody asked about Matthew Hoppe. Does he fit into
he would if he played
this team at all?
He did the thing where you choose to take the first offer that comes to you for going to a bigger club. Without thinking about playing time or fit or anything like that, he doesn't play. So if he was playing, if he was still with Schalke and in the second Bundesliga, playing 90 minutes every game at center forward or even winger, then I think he would absolutely be on the radar. But you can't play 100 minutes a year and then expect to be a factor at all. It's just not.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Josh Sargent. Josh Sargent used to be a high-level center forward prospect. Now he's a defensive winger. Like I was joking with friends that he was the obvious choice to be the backup right back instead of Shaq Moore, because that's the type of that's the type of it's like, and it's not meant to be. Like I still think that Josh Sargent could actually end up being a decent forward, but he has put himself on a professional path where he's not getting that opportunity with his club. And if you're not getting that opportunity with your club, you can't expect to get it with your national team.
Good point.
Very mixed responses regarding Jesus Ferreira. I would say it's about 50-50. Some people feel really confident and super okay, and some are like, I need to see more. Need to see more. Can't make that call right now.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if he scores 15 goals and 10 assists, is that enough, or do you need him to have like literally an MVP?
It's not. It's funny. It's just. It's not. And I think, and I don't know how fair that is, because he is really talented. But even if he did have a 15-goal season, I still don't think people would be entirely convinced.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, at the striker position for the U.S. men's national team, since Clint Dempsey, since Landon Donovan, who were kind of hybrid attackers, it's what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
You've seen the conversation change from, this guy scored, he should be the guy. And it's just the reality of what it means to be a striker for the men. Oh my gosh, that's not good. Bummer. Let me stop talking because something not good happened.
Boo!
That means I should stop. Let me switch to water.
Boo!
Not good.
There's our guy.
Anders, I'm doing this behind the scenes. It's for you, man.
There's our guy, Annabelle Godoy. He's had a very eventful evening on set pieces.
Mm-hmm. That's a good header. Jeez.
It was a good header, to be fair. Let's see.
Is that Shaq Moore marking him?
Yep.
Difficult. He was on his back foot. Yeah, I took a step back.
No.
Oh man, yeah. Didn't think I'd be drinking water tonight till before bed, but that goal just changed my mood.
Yeah, I mean, but Michael, from a player's perspective, how disappointing is that to let that one in at the end of the game?
You'll hear it more from Zach Steffen from the back line, but overall the mission was to get 3 points.
Yeah.
I don't think these guys will be bummed at all to give up a goal. Now, if it was 2-0 and you give up that goal, then you'd be really upset.
Well, Susannah would be on drink number God knows what if that were the case right now.
No, but as a group, the mission was always take care of business, get the 3 points, up that goal differential. And this is why that you got the 5th goal, because you still create that cushion for when you go to Costa Rica.
Sure.
But I don't think they'll be phased. Oh, look at Gio. All right.
Woo! We're closing in. Oh, God, so close. So close, guys. Just, we can taste it.
Panama doing their... Oh, there's Kellen Acosta coming in.
Oof. Oh, hey! There's my good friend Claudio. And yours.
I know him.
And yours, Michael.
Yeah.
South by Southwest buddies, huh?
Listen, we bonded.
Yeah.
We asked him, we were like, are you going to go to any of these matches? And he was very non-committal. But as soon as Gio got that call up, I was like, Claudio's finding a way. It was real. That was such a fun conversation, though. Just kind of listening to he very much takes more of like the fatherly role as you should, and doesn't want to impart too much advice. He kind of waits for Gio to come to him to ask him anything. But it's a really, really nice dynamic that they have. But I Michael Lahoud, the thing that I took away from that conversation too was like Claudio Reyna. Does he do anything but watch soccer? Like I was like, how many hours of soccer do you consume? Because you just,
yeah,
it sounds like that's all he does.
every time we walk by his office at St. David's, if he's not at the training field watching the first team, he's just constantly looking at film, looking at players, looking at video. But what I love seeing is that when you talk to him about the U.S. men's national team, not just Gio, he's a fan. He's rooting for these guys. He was one of these players, and he was a young player too when he broke into the fold. So I loved hearing the enthusiasm and him describing it. So I was, look, I pull for these guys against the Mexico games. I get excited as if I'm a fan now, and it's almost a bit of a tense relief.
Yeah,
to be able to just be a fan.
He's got an incredible soccer brain, that's for sure. Guys, after this one wraps up, we are going to do a short post-game show, but get in that chat and ask us some questions. Let us know what you want to know after this impressive result for the United States. In a good position, guys. They're in a really good position. Have not clinched, but basically with this 3 points that we're going to get here, they have solidified their place at the very least in that playoff game later this year in Qatar. So
I will go ahead and say that it would take the worst performance in U.S. men's national team history for them to not clinch on Wednesday.
Oh,
God.
They would have to be an order of magnitude worse than they were in Couva in 2018.
Yeah. Man, I'm like, gosh, now I was gonna go water, and now I'm gonna go to some sort of soda.
Straight gin.
Just that's the post game. Come on, ref. You know you want to get on the plane. Blow the whistle.
I know. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
Looks like Shaq Moore might have done his hammy.
Oh, boy.
It's just a little limp. Hopefully it's just a cramp.
Yeah,
I'm happy for that dude. I'm really happy for that dude.
No, that's great.
Everything that was said the past few days.
Yeah, that is that's just a nice feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might want to sit down, Shaq.
Was that a hammy? Did he reach for his hammy?
Yeah, he's definitely grabbing his right hamstring. It's tough to tell how bad it is. Ferreira's limping too. Like these guys are spent.
Yeah.
So maybe that means Ricardo Pepi starts in Costa Rica.
One more, guys. It's right there. It is there for you.
Oh boy, yeah, Pepe's looking a little stiff, maybe a little cramp. Not Pepe.
He's got that looks like a cramp to me.
Yeah. Don't run, dude. Don't run. Don't run.
That's what I used to do when I would fake. I'd just be like, pulling up. Coach.
No. My feed stopped.
My feed stopped.
Uh-oh.
Do I need a refresh?
I'm just gonna stare at Doyle. And see his facial reaction from here on out because he's ahead. Oh no, that's a refresh.
I know. Possibly. Let's see here.
Oh. Okay, come on.
Ball game.
That's it.
Love to hear
5-1.
Oh, guys, it's been a wild ride. Yeah. So the U.S. wins 5-1, guaranteed at least fourth. They will at the very least be going to Qatar for that playoff game. This is great news. We're not quite there. We have one more game left to go on Wednesday in Costa Rica. But I think you have to be feeling very, very positive after a performance like this. This was, I said it before, this is exactly what they needed to do. It's exactly what we wanted to see in terms of just tenacity, mentality. They finished, like there were things that were improved upon. Matt Doyle, just your initial thoughts on this performance against Panama.
Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest performance at all, but by any stretch of the imagination, this wasn't the cleanest U.S. with the ball, with their movements, even with their shape. But the intensity was really, really good. Once they got to that 10-minute mark, the intensity was really, really good. And then the small moments were good. Like the guys in those tight spots won their individual battles. And you take that and the intensity and the skill level on this team, and you have a team that's not only really tough to beat, but the type of team that can put 5 past you without even playing that well. And it's a big exhale, because I think we've all been, other than the first Honduras game, there hasn't been a performance like this. We've all been waiting for it, and it was here. And it fills you with a level, it fills me anyway, with a level of confidence that I'm not sure I had for this team heading into the night.
Best performance that you've seen from them, would you say? In this
yes and no.
World Cup qualifiers.
Yes and no. I think they can do a lot of the things that they want to do better. I think they can use the ball better than they did. I think they could find spaces in behind better than they did, be a little bit more dangerous vertically. That said, they played hard and they played quick. And when you do those two things and you have a ton of skill, you have the chance to give yourself a 5-1. And so by that measure, absolutely their best. But I still think that in terms of the type of soccer that Greg Berhalter wants them to play, that they want to play, right? Because the kids are bought in. These players are bought in. Yeah. They can still reach a higher level.
Yeah, Mike Lahoud, what do you think?
Ooh, I think this has been the best. Is going to be some eyebrows raised in the chat, and I wish they could come up with they do have eyebrow raised emojis. I think they look like.
Yeah, they do. It's like this one.
But this has been the best start to a cycle for them in this version of a cycle, because you're playing high pressure games, and you have to go on the road for 2 of them.
Yep.
And you do the job at home in an emphatic fashion. That's not just a lucky, to get that lead going into half where you're in complete control. And they are in control. They were in control at Azteca. And when you're there, you have a couple nervy moments. But as Doyle said, 80 minutes of that game, they were in control. And they should have won that game, I think. And now you come home and you follow that up, and now just that level of consistency in high-pressure situations, that is what gives me confidence about this group. And especially with a bit of your backs up against the wall, where you have to get it done, knowing that you're playing the later game. And anything could happen in that Costa Rica-El Salvador game, and anything almost did happen. But now you're in more control for when you go to Costa Rica than if you put in a 50-50 type of performance. This team should feel confident, but not overconfident, because Costa Rica are going to make it a very difficult match. It's not going to be like this. It's not going to be open. They're going to just try and grind a result out.
Yeah, I think, that's one of the most impressive things for me, Michael, to touch on that is just kind of that the mentality that they've showed, because we've seen in the past, them not respond positively after a result. And again, it's not like the result at Azteca was bad, but there were some questions. It was like, what is this game going to look like? And you think about all the things we were talking about earlier, the fatigue factor, all the yellow cards, like the lineup, the injuries. It was like this, there were a lot of reasons for them to, not come out and play the way that they did, but they did. And that's super, super encouraging, especially knowing that they still have one up in Costa Rica. As you said, that is not going to be an easy match, but they are in the best position that they probably could be in. And, if they get a result in Costa Rica, if they win, if they tie, they are going to Qatar. They're going to the World Cup. And that is when you control your own destiny. That is what you want. That's the position you want to be in. And I think that there were guys tonight that really, really impressed me. I think we have to talk about Christian Pulisic. the chat was kind of all over it. There was he can be a polarizing figure. So he is so spectacular, but then when something goes wrong, when he misses an easy goal, people love to harp on him. But I think tonight was a real statement from him. And I think he's somebody that plays with the chip on his shoulder. And I actually like that. I like it when Christian Pulisic has a chip on his shoulder because he tends to produce in those moments. And we saw it tonight. He stepped up. He nailed both of those penalties. And then that third goal was just, I mean, that's one of the best goals that I have seen in these qualifiers, certainly with the U.S. men's national team. Matt Doyle, what did you see from Christian Pulisic tonight?
He did the job, right? He wasn't spectacular. This was not, you're not going to make a highlight comp of his performance and say like, wow, this is amazing. But then you got him in front of goal, whether it's on the, penalties that he buried or that third goal, which was just remarkable. That's what you want to see. That's what he has to do. He wears the number 10. He's supposedly the best player on the team. He's, he wants to be the best player in the region. He plays for the Champions League winners, Club World Cup champions. This is what he's supposed to do. Wears the number 10. And I saw that. I didn't necessarily see that the other night against Mexico. We haven't really necessarily seen that throughout qualifying, but this was the biggest game of the cycle, and he had a hat trick. That's really good. That's really good, no matter how those goals came.
Yeah, we'll take it. Michael Lahoud, what did you see about Christian Pulisic tonight? What about his performance?
Keep in mind, Christian Pulisic, of all these players, he is probably the only player who played a major role in the last World Cup cycle in 2018 where it all went wrong. And we saw what it meant to him. He was devastated on that field. He was in tears. And so there's an extra sense of pressure that he puts on himself that I can only imagine as a player, that when you've tasted that in a way that none of these guys, really, if any of these guys, not many, I should say, not none of these guys, because it reverberates throughout all of U.S. soccer culture when you don't qualify for a World Cup. But he experienced that firsthand. So early on in qualifying, it almost felt like he was trying so hard.
Yeah.
He was trying too hard. And what I like about Christian Pulisic, and Doyle, you ushered in the challenge of, can he find space? Where can he impact the game? Where can he find space to be effective? And tonight he grew a little bit more with this group. And that's not just him growing as a player, but learning how to be effective with this group. And that's going to be something that's part of his maturation process, because he's still a young player who has a ton of experience in a short amount of time. But now, how do you lead this group? How do you deliver when they need you most? And he did that tonight. It's going to look different against Costa Rica, though.
It's such a good point, because I tend to forget that he was with the team back in 2017. And I remember he wrote that article for the Players Tribune after they failed to qualify. And as you mentioned, just completely devastated. He promised, he promised that it would happen. He would be a part of getting the U.S. back to the World Cup. And for him, you think about those 4 years, right? Like in between World Cups, like Matt Doyle kind of hit on it earlier. Like, this is where stars are made, and Christian Pulisic missed that window. That was going to be a coming out party for him if the United States had qualified for the World Cup in 2018, and he missed it. So, and he knows so well the pain of that moment and failing to qualify, and what could have been. Now, he's playing for Chelsea. He's, a Champions League winner. I mean, the guy, it's not as if, his career has faltered, but when you think about the recognition and just sort of the platform that you get put on, and not to mention the platform that United States soccer gets put on in a global lens, they missed out on that. And he was front and center. And so it's a really good point that you make, because I think the motivation is there. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that he has put pressure on himself. So I think that's a really, really good point. But they have one more left, gentlemen. Costa Rica coming up on Wednesday. Reminder to everybody, if the United States win, If they draw, they are in. They will go to Qatar. They will play in the World Cup after having missed out in 2018. So looking ahead to the Costa Rica match, we've got a great comment from Watchtower 777. Who would you start on Wednesday against Costa Rica? Matt Doyle.
So here's the situation. With the goal differential, the U.S. are plus 13. Costa Rica is plus 3. Costa Rica would need to beat the U.S. by 6 goals or more in order to win. If you forfeit, you lose by 3-0. So I would just forfeit. Don't start anyone.
I love that. I love
3-0 Costa Rica. Don't risk any injuries. The U.S. are through. Math is math. Math is math. That's it.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Wow. I mean,
I will say I think that you don't want to risk Anthony Robinson again. So George Bell is probably going to start. I think that Aaron Long probably goes from the start, and probably with Miles Robinson, who got an extra 30 minutes of rest. Walker Zimmerman didn't get that. DeAndre Yedlin back in at right back. Tyler Adams, you got to rest him, I think, from the start. So probably Kellen Acosta starts at the 6. Maybe James Sands. I'm not sure what the rest of it looks like. I think if Jesus Ferreira, if this is just cramping, and I think it is, probably go with him from the start. Arriola from the start. Tim Weah back in from the start as well. It's not the A team, but you have it. Like we saw what Arriola did tonight. We saw what Weah has done throughout qualifying. We know that Kellen Acosta can come up big when asked to play as a number 6 and, in certain situations. So I think there's every reason to be confident if you're a U.S. national team fan, especially because what we've seen throughout qualifying, these 3-game windows, they didn't used to exist. International breaks used to be 2 games. So there was less squad rotation. These 3-game windows, because the Central American teams just don't have as much depth, they haven't been able to rotate their squads as much, and they've been getting pumped in the 3rd games. So I think if like Berhalter, just go out there and trust your reserves to get it done. Whether that means a win, a draw, or like a hard-fought, respectable loss. Any of the above is enough to get us to Qatar. So, don't risk injuries. Put the guys out there who can tell them, all right, boys, go get it done. We believe in you.
First thing that I would do before anything gets decided for Wednesday's match is, and I love what you said about don't risk injuries, Doyle, is you assess the physical place of each player. Tyler Adams, yes, he put in some really good minutes, but he's the fittest player on this team. He is a fitness machine, and that's why he's one of your leaders of this team. And in big games, you want your big players. These are young players, and yes, injuries, playing, traveling. It's a different situation than playing a Gio Reyna, which that was a gamble tonight to not start him. I wouldn't decide to start him, and maybe that's in the thought process of let's get Gio from the start, and then we can pull him off and just have that slow reel of getting him reintegrated, because he will have a big part to play in Wednesday's game, whether it be from the bench again at halftime or from the start, and then pull him out 60 minutes in. My thing, and how I've always felt about big games, unless you're Christian Pulisic, is go to your room and say, Coach, I can't move a muscle. The guy scored a hat trick. Don't take him off. Those are 3 goals that aren't guaranteed anywhere.
Yeah.
But those are 3 goals you don't have on the field. Coming off a game like he had tonight, which wasn't a star-studded game. It wasn't like he, apart from that 3rd goal, that was class. That was a different class. That was a Christian Pulisic. It reminded me of the Pulisic of the last World Cup cycle that was taking CONCACAF by storm. But that's a player that I would keep on the field. I like the thought process of a Paul Arriola. Assess where Ferreira is. I think if you can't go with Jesus Ferreira, it becomes very interesting because you have Tim Weah in the wings. But this is a different Tim Weah that we've seen in this kind of last couple months, playing for Lille, not really as impactful on the club level and it's showing a little bit with the men's national team. And mind you, it's just we're the tail end of CONCACAF. He's been an amazing contributor for the men's national team this cycle, especially in the last year or so. But man, they're so close now, and I would hate for a lineup wrinkle if players don't come to you and say, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I would hate for a lineup wrinkle to cost momentum. And I mean, this is why you get the goal differential up to just ensure as much as possible that you're in control. I'm going to say this in the chat, please keep my name, my future kids' names out of it. But they have 1 foot in Qatar.
Wow.
They have 1 foot in Qatar. I'm saying it right now.
Well, they do technically, because they will be going to Qatar for a playoff game at the very least. So that's not wrong. I think that you're safe in making that statement. I think it's interesting though, because listening to you guys kind of talk about what we might see in terms of lineup on Wednesday. I think I've started to feel a lot more confident in the depth that's available. And that's not something that we've always been able to say when it comes to the U.S. men's national team. But we do have a really talented player pool, and that's Greg Berhalter is going to have options, and he will hopefully be able to give some guys rests that need it without sacrificing too much the product on the field. And I think that, all the guys that you mentioned, I feel confident that they would be able to get a result in Costa Rica. And that's a great feeling to have, which is very exciting. We should also mention that, and tip our hats to our neighbors to the north. Congrats, Canada, on qualifying for the World Cup. The first time you've done it since 82? Is that
86,
it? 86? 86. The first time they have qualified since 1986, a 4-0 win over Jamaica. They were so impressive throughout qualifiers. Watching the reactions, watching them win at home, this means so much. And we've got to give credit to the women's national team, because they have been very, very good for a while and have an outstanding soccer program there. And to see, like I said, I mentioned on the pregame show, the glow up of the men's side happened so fast and furious, and just the level of talent that they're playing with. I'm so impressed with John Herdman. I'm so impressed with the culture that he has built on that team. They're going to be so much fun to watch in the World Cup, Matt Doyle. I'm pumped to watch them.
I am too, and they're a nightmare matchup, because they can do that. They can counterattack against anybody, and they're fine defending in their own box for 90 minutes. Remember what they did to the U.S. in Nashville? They had like 23% possession. And they're just a nightmare, because you have Davies on one side and you have Tajon Buchanan on the other, and then you have like $80 million worth of forwards in Larin and Jonathan David, and a good central mid. Like they're not in it. The comp is like what France did in 2018. France didn't have the ball in 2018. They were just able to completely annihilate you anytime you showed a crack in transition, and that's what Canada's done in CONCACAF. Now, it's obviously a big step to go from translating that in CONCACAF to the World Cup, but we've seen Costa Rica do that before.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. The U.S. did that for the first time 30 years ago in 1994 in the World Cup. That U.S. team was not as good as this Canadian team. It can happen. Yeah. It absolutely can happen. They need to get the right draw, obviously. They need to avoid injuries. But like anybody who thinks that this Canadian team is cannon fodder, they're just going to go 3-0. Like they might, like you can still beat them, but like they are not going to go just happy to be there. They're going to be nightmares for the teams they play.
What I like about this Canadian team is when you look at their roster and you have guys that are playing in MLS, and Jonathan Osorio, who I was really excited for. At the end of the game, there's so many camera shots of the crowd, the fans, the Canadian flag, seeing the national pride centered around soccer, not hockey, not the thing with the stick,
Ha.
the thing with the cleats that you kick the ball with your feet. That was so refreshing. But there was a moment where John Herdman subs out Jonathan Osorio, the local lad, Toronto through and through, Brampton special. And they have a moment where they just embrace. And it was an emotional moment for Jonathan Osorio, who just almost collapsed in Herdman's arms. That is a quality of coach. That's a quality human being, first and foremost, and then a quality coach, second. I love that. There's just this team ethos and this team spirit that drives this group. And when I look at the makeup of this group, it's really anyone can step up at any given time. Kyle Larin, he has stepped up big time. But when you look in that game, Jonathan David could have had a hat trick on his own just with the chances he missed. He didn't have to be spectacular because they were a team that really wanted it, and you could see what it meant. Couva, I love this player. I think he's a player that has so much potential, and the world will take note with what he does with hopefully a good performance in Qatar. But so thrilled for this Canadian national team. Them being good makes the U.S. men's national team better. It makes Mexico better. It makes this region better. You need competition. You need teams like Canada to raise the standard, raise the bar. And this is just a fairy tale sort of day.
Yeah, indeed. I would love to be partying in Canada right now. I bet I can only imagine the scenes in Toronto right now. I'm a little bit jealous. We're almost there, guys. We're close. I can taste it. I can just taste it. That's basically it for us, but I want to remind everybody that we're going to be back for another one of these watch-alongs on Wednesday when the United States face off against Costa Rica. That game kicking off at 9:05 p.m. Eastern on Paramount Plus. Sasha Kleshkin is going to be watching along, which is pretty cool. So that'll be really great to get his perspective on what's going on. And again, guys, if they win or draw, the United States will be playing in the World Cup in Qatar. So just put it out there in the universe. But listen, we can't be mad about what we saw tonight. A really impressive 5-1 win over Panama. We appreciate you getting in the chat and hanging with us tonight. It was really, really fun. For Matt Doyle, for Michael Lahoud, we say farewell. Good night, y'all. We'll see you Wednesday.